Right. We're beginning. Here we go. Today, I'm going to be playing High Elves, Greenskins, Skaven, Dark Elves, and Grand Cathay for the tournament. They are the factions that I generally struggle playing with. You know, there's maybe a couple others. I still gotta practice Coast and Counts. We'll get them in. But this is gonna be our 5 for today, using our new tournament format, our pick and counter pick situation with 5 factions. Let me just make sure all the sign-ups are in. Alrighty. Running a little bit late at a busy morning. Okay, and it begins. At Dr. Jellyfish, remember to check in if you want to play. At Blake. At Aesop. At Rock. I think I got them all. Alrighty. Looks like we'll give them like 30 seconds and we can get started. Please be Dark Elves. We're playing all the factions. So the way it works is that you pick one faction if you're top bracket to play and you get counterpicked. If you're bottom bracket, then you are the one counterpicking with one of your 5 factions. All right. So it begins. All right. Generating the bracket. I'm gonna click that button once and no more. Announcement tourney. At the Goblins. Round 1 starting. Sorry for the late start. Alright. Starting Corsair. Barely got a sign up in. With the Skaven max. Just 5x Skaven. What a mad lad. Alright. And then there's my opponent. Hey, we matched up. Alrighty, we'll go to multiplayer battles, man. Busy morning this day. And by busy, I mean I slept in. I slept in and now we're suffering the consequences. How's it going, people? Peaceful Romancer, excited for Dark Elves. Sabetify, what's up? Tim's ticking. Time's ticking. Whoops. Dallas. Praise be Dark Elves. A lot of people excited for Dark Elves, dang. Playing your worst faction and Nurgle isn't here. Yeah, no Nurgle, no counts. I'll be playing them tomorrow, probably. Doesn't that system give a huge bottom... Doesn't that give a bottom bracket a huge advantage? Well, top bracket... Oh yeah, wait, no, it's not a full counter pick. My bad, Maximilian. I forgot to include the last step. Bottom bracket picks 3 of their 5 factions. And then top bracket picks 1 of the 3. My bad. I forgot to explain the whole system. Yes, because otherwise, yes, it would be a pretty big advantage. But instead, you're picking the middle of their 5 factions that you get to that you have to worry about. So it's not too bad. Still figuring out exactly how balanced it is. Generally, it doesn't seem to be to make it too bad as far as player skill is concerned. It seems like player skill just kind of trumps in general. At least from my analysis, it's like about a 50-50 split, top bracket to bottom bracket. Woo. Woo! Nurgle should be a must. We just won with Nurgle. We just won with Nurgle in the tournament. I don't need to play them ever again. But yeah, no, there's so many factions though that I gotta get at. Skaven definitely is a must. I'll probably sub out Dark Elves and maybe even High Elves for vampire counts and thing later. Vampire counts and maybe Nurgle or Coast. There's a lot of factions I haven't played. I need to get my water. Oh god, so many things. All right, I gotta take my meds. God, I feel like a mess right now. My hair is all wild. Skaven, yes, yes. All right, so this guy's faction is Lizardmen ×5. Okay, so he's gonna play Lizardmen. So that means I can play whatever I want. You know what? This is a matchup where Skaven is actually a hard maybe. Skaven used to be pretty good into Lizardmen. I'll play Skaven. It's a little bit of a sus matchup, but you know, we get this is a matchup I need to practice. This is a matchup I need to practice. Redeemed 15 bicep curls. All right, will do. I'll do it while we load in. Oh man, all right. Broken tired. Rip that name. Let's see. Do I have a Skaven? I guess I only have one Skaven build, don't I? Just the one. Just the one. If I need a tech against Lizardmen, though, it's like what? Warp lightning cannons? What's the map? Dunes of Cain. Okay. This is an okay artillery map. It's very okay. Nothing too special about it. Honestly, this build's kind of sick though. I'm looking at this Skaven build. I'm like, dang, I really cooked. And by cooked, I mean I stole B6's build. Totally stole it. Play style and all. It's the only thing that works with Skaven right now. Is there anything I need to adjust though for Lizardmen? They could have pterodons. I don't think that's a big deal. What factions would you like to see get a facelift completely, and why is it all Nurgle? Nurgle, weirdly enough, is a lot more competitive than a lot of other factions. Okay, Twitch redemption, bicep curl time. Here we go, lock in. One. But yeah, Nurgle. Nurgle's okay. I think a lot of the Chaos factions need better cavalry. Because as it stands, the only Chaos factions that can run cav is Slanesh. And it's only with Hellstriders. Dang, it's been a while since I did this. I'm getting a little tired. I think that's 10 now. Oh god. But yeah, I think a lot of the Chaos factions need better Chaos Knights. As it stands, Chaos Knights kind of suck. Chaos Knights are big garbage, and because of that, it's just Hellstrider City. Like Khorne, man, they really need that, because it's one of the main reasons why they get kited into oblivion right now, because they don't have fast cav to just catch them. Kind of sucks. I see you getting your pre-game pump on. Yep. All right, here we go, loading on in. Yo, it was busy morning. I woke up, got a call from my bank. Had to manage some things. Good call. It was a good call. It's talking about investments and such, investment plans and all that. I had to get that managed. All right, figuring out future mortgage shenanigans being the YouTuber. Yeah, there's a few more extra steps you gotta do when you're a YouTuber. Managing finances is a must. I can't just work a 9 to 5 and be like, my life is set. Although some people work a 9 to 5 and they don't have that either, but that was my morning. Figuring out the rest of my life. Good stuff. It's actually decently figured out though, as long as everything goes to plan. Oh boy, all right. Here we go. Yo, those bicep curls actually got me really tired. I gotta leave that Twitch thing on. Otherwise, I'm gonna become sedentary. Oh god. All that. There we go. So this Skaven build's pretty straightforward. It's slave maxing, who would have guessed? So you have 1 million Skaven slaves. We have our Jezzails. Ready to hokey poke them to death. Ready. Good luck, have fun. But yeah, overall, I'm doing pretty good. Excited to be streaming once again. I've been trying to figure out videos. Intern maxing. But yeah, I've been trying to figure out video content that I want to make. So like, you know, like the edited tournament streams is pretty cool, but like it also takes a lot of time. So that's kind of what's been on my mind. I really want to start pumping out videos again. I've been blessed with a little bit more time recently to really hunker down and get that done. So if you guys have stuff that you want to see, feel free to send ideas my way. As I've been theory crafting for a while. I know you guys are a much more niche audience, so a lot of the ideas will probably have to go into the bin, but getting a general scope of things would be nice. But like, you know, I don't know, maybe like there's like some sick unit control stuff. I think like quick tips is like a solid thing that will be applicable to both game modes. Maybe I can just do like quick micro tips. Maybe I can do a quick micro tip series. All right, anyways, he's given the good luck, have fun. It's begun. He has a Slann Mage of Life. Look at this guy. Slann Mage of Life. Earth Blood Regrowth. He has 13 units. Makes sense. There's nothing too crazy. It's a Lizardmen build with Rev Crystal. What does he need a Rev Crystal for? What's this guy planning to do? Kinda sus if you ask me. Oh crap. It gets Winds of Magic ability. Whoopsie daisy. Replay analysis of high level players, yeah. I don't know how a full replay analysis series would do though. Cause I was looking at like even Grubby's videos, you know. Even Grubby's videos don't like totally take off. Can get some shots in on these Source Warriors, that'd be hype. But yeah, like usually the more like in-depth sweaty action you get into, the much more niche the content becomes. And then can be hard to get it to a wider audience. But like it'd be cool to get like, you know, a little bit of build analysis. The videos are really easy to make too, so it's not like I have to make things that get 1 million views all the time. You know, as long as it's being watched by someone. I'll probably just experiment with a bunch of types of content. Now you may notice I'm not really summoning anything in right now. That's because I'm waiting to take a look at his army. I gotta figure out what in the world he's even doing. Like the Jezzails are getting pretty good value right now, so I have no incentive to actually push up. I don't think he has a really big rush army. I'm feeling pretty confident with the fact that I have so many Storm Vermin. By the way, Flinching Ruin, lots of damage, lots and lots of damage. Let's get that little wibbly wobbly vortex on his Legion of Chikwa, as they are fairly expensive. And I'm basically just trying to value game it here. Let's see. Doesn't have a lot of big dinos. I can't summon triads through this vanguard point. You know, doom flayers is probably makes sense. Good old anti-infantry. Yeah, it's a lot of healing he's bought for not a lot of single entities. Surprising indeed. Skin cohort's another really nice target to snipe. And honestly, his strategy would be good if he wasn't tanking so much pain right now. As it stands, he's taking a lot of damage from my range tools. And he's gonna have to advance. I get insane value off of my flinching ruins and such. And the warp lightning cannon, of course. So, you know, like, unless the tickets go real bad for me, this is gonna be a little sus. Stuff 'em up styles generally aren't super effective against Skaven either, because they have so much capture weight in the form of clan rats and slaves and such. So really waiting to see how this goes. You got a warp lightning cannon, getting a lot of work in. I almost have another flensing. Overall, the flensings, it's just kind of, you know, we just kind of want to get it out of the way as soon as possible. Because if he does rush me, I'll only really be able to cast the one spell. And then all of a sudden, I'll just have a bunch of winds of magic lying around. So definitely getting it out of the way is good. If I can get a D summon on these Giselles, holy moly, the value would be crazy. Death by 1,000 cuts indeed. He also doesn't have a lot of range here, I'm noticing, to support this. Could be pretty good. Fairly high damage here. The cavalry has arrived. So Doomflayers are good. Because they are good. They're just quite cost effective. But no, they're kind of like Tomb King's chariots. Lots and lots of damage against infantry. Little squishy cavalry. You know, they used to be good against cavalry. Apparently, they used to be basically your Skaven cavalry, which is a terrifying concept indeed. But yeah, you can see how easily they push back those skin cohort. Interesting. So we're seeing a lot of flyers now. Huh? Can I defend against those? All I got is my my warp lightning and some triads and some doggos. Honestly, seems pretty good to me. Looks like me capturing the point has triggered a little bit of an advance on my opponent. Totally fine though, as I got my triads here. Now what's he gonna dive? That's a lot of birds. That's a lot of ripperdactyls. They're gonna dive in? Well, what's the game plan? They gotta have some sort of game plan, right? There goes his cav. I'm gonna save my little vortex for them. Seems like he's not really diving in. Okay, we got one diving. This is perfect time for a doggo summon. This is why we've been waiting. Doggo summons abound. Gonna deal with them very effectively. Over here, that's a beautiful vortex. A lot of Warhammer is min-maxing your spell usage. And in this case, that is insane. That is mega value. Now, I don't really have a target for... actually, I do have a target for these guys. Never mind. They're gonna go and snipe his lord. In the meantime, this flank over here can be secured by Rat Ogre Clan Rat spam. So I don't expect him to get too much work in there. And then if my Warp Lightning Cannon kills his lord, we're basically done here, right? He's pretty screwed. Just hasn't really been able to shut down most of my guys. Although, Doomflayer, what are we gonna do with that? I don't really have a lot of units I can throw away at this situation. Ica Claw's in a little bit of a pickle too. I guess I do have my slingers, but I'm not gonna sacrifice my dogs for that. That's just a terrible idea. These guys are out of ammunition, so let's get the D summon on them. And that'll give me a hell of a lot of value to more or less do whatever I want. Looks like this situation stabilized mostly. His lord is safe, but with the Doomflayer is alive and essentially no cavalry to speak of, I should be fine. Value trading's also immense. The doggo save was indeed worth. Dogs can get so much more value by just doing other things. And his cavalry's down, hell yeah. My artillery, however, kind of having a hard time finding a target. Do I still have triads here? I got Skaven slave spears. Not exactly triads, but good enough. There's the cav route. There's another flensing. Colossadon hunters on Ikit Claw is probably my biggest misplay here. But otherwise, everything else is going so well, I don't think I have to worry much. Ikit is gonna live, hopefully. Hopefully he lives. And you can see how comfortable I am losing tickets, right? Generally speaking, you don't have to worry about the ticket situation too much. Let's get that Lord Snipe. Let's get charged with Ikit to make sure that he indeed does not get leadership broken. And then we're good. It's true. He did heal. He did heal. The healing, I don't know how much it makes up for it. If only CA would have a better value tracker here. I don't think it's by design. I think it would be real sick to see a proper value tracking. Anyways, defensive Skaven is best Skaven. Skaven on the defense with the home field advantage after a lot of hokey poke is everything a man could possibly wish for. His lord's also taking massive damage from that warp lightning. The thing about warp lightnings is that they are absolutely terrifying. They will tear you a new one. Absolutely. If given the chance. His lord overextending slightly is now pretty screwed. Ripperdactyls also are not really that great into an army like this. We just have so many units that it can get pretty difficult actually, you know, disengaging with your Colossadons without getting mobbed up by infantry. There's just so much of them that you can't really get the usual overwhelming strategies. Also, by the way, minus 50% armor. 70 armor Bastiladon. Insanely good for us. Triads are indeed a fairly nice tool for dinos, it turns out. Unlike other armor debuffs that are flat, they give that sick 50%. It's pretty massive. Getting a full 50% on a unit that has so much armor. Like it's a permanent overcast plague of rust, essentially. And that will get that thing to rout. How wondrous. His lord should die soon. And then my opponent's basically tabled outside of this little pocket over here, right? A fairly good start that we have today. Oh yeah, the what's it? There was a streamer tournament, right? I wasn't able to participate. Something came up. Unfortunately, so I was busy the day of the tournament. Would have been fun to play. Yeah, I heard Sotek actually. He sent me a replay from that tournament. Nice, GG. Yeah, against Hitman Hippo. I want to show that one off. He was pretty excited about it. Good solid first win. Too. A good way to start the day. And I'm pretty sure the Giselle value is through the roof. Yeah, Giselle value is through the roof. You're not going to out-heal that. Especially with the D-summon. Insanity value. I don't think you can do much there. GG. All right. All right. What a joy to catch you live. Congrats on the win. Thank you. Ooh. Yeah, that value is crazy. That map's fun though. Dunes of Cain is a very good map. It's actually fairly good for mortar type artillery pieces. You appreciate that I'm so open about how I take my view count into consideration when creating videos. It is how business. It is how business works. Unfortunately, I'm happy that you appreciate the transparency, though. It's something I try my best. I think that's the thing about all relationships, right? Communication, transparency. Although, like, you know, the natural inclination, it's weird though, right? If you talk about it too much, it feels weird, man. It feels weird. Anyways, yeah. Well, I'm just here doing my best. Where's that Hitman Hippo? This is a matchup from the tournament that Sotek sent me that I wanted to take a look at. He said it was a very good fight. It get item doesn't give Winds of Magic tooltip. Liars. Same with Techless. What do you mean it doesn't give Winds of Magic tooltip? What do you mean? I thought it does say that it gives Winds of Magic. Redeem 15 squats. Thank you, Beryl. Alright, here we go. What are your 5 worst factions? It's in the thumbnail, but Skaven, High Elves, Dark Elves. Oh, I don't have Dowie here. I gotta have Dowie at some point. Okay, I have a lot of bad factions. Dowie, Vampire Counts, Vampire Coast. But yeah, the 5 factions I have today is High Elves, Greenskin, Skaven, Dark Elves, Grand Cathay. I will probably try out Dowie, Vampire Coast, Vampire Counts tomorrow. Because we're on a big grind to practice all of our worst factions. I'm sure I'm missing some. Chaos Dwarves is another hard maybe. Nurgle Gaming. Oh yeah, I should have Nurgle there too. Yeah, so maybe tomorrow I do Dowie, Counts, Coast, Nurgle. That seems fairly fun. Redeem 15 lat raises, you guys. Got a full exercise routine today. Thank you, Twitch. Yo, interesting. Okay, so we have what? We have Tarmacon. We have some. We have some flyers. Oh, he netted the Furies, I think. Okay, that's enough squats. Corn. Oh god, Corn get kited into oblivion. Dang, they ate a fat shot from the Exalteds though. Do you see that? That's half HP. If you move even slightly though, you do manage to get that dodge. Anyways, oh god, I got fit exercising into my day. Otherwise, like, I'm so tired after the stream, I just don't exercise. The Twitch chat, it is just an excuse for me to get exercise in. Let's be real. Dang, they're gonna crumble the Furies. Oh my gosh, Smazamundi, yeah, just a net. So he doesn't have a Tempest or anything. So they do route, but overall fairly good trade. You know, you got the Furies killed, and you got a rock drop on Exalteds. 400 rally, it's okay. If they rally, maybe they can get some work done. Interesting. Are these Temple Guard? Saurus, okay. I still have to do lat raises. Okay. Alright. I gotta make sure the tournament's progressing nicely. 3 more matches so we have time. Yeah, I just gotta be exercising in general. And then at some point, I won't even need Twitch chat to ask for it. Oh, hey, you got the ROR Feral Carnosaur. A lot of people have been running this thing recently, because it doesn't have Rampage like a normal Carnosaur, and its stats are insane. Look at that, 6660. It's basically another Lord. Costs as much as a Lord, but it has fairly good speed even when slowed. It's pretty nice. This is Lore Master of Sotek versus Hitman Hippo, by the way. Bastildon blasted Mazda? Oh no. Yo, Bastildon's is so derpy. Interesting that line of sight issues don't apply if it's like that. Alright, here we go. Lat raises while we watch this replay. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh god. 5. Oh god, I gotta disable some of these. I gotta disable some of these before I die. Oh boy. Interesting. Colossedon hunters on Tarmacon's pretty bad. Yeah, that's just a loss of the Colossedons. Kind of unfortunate. Value trading's really close though, but if he loses these guys, yeah, it's gonna go super in the way of Nurgle. Master Mundy's questioned it though. Holy crap. The terror. Geltblom's terror just annihilated Kaizek. What the crap? And you guys said Kaizek was a beast. Oh my god. Sick annihilation. Very nice. Master Mundy still at half health too. Did the Ripperdactyls live? Holy crap, the Ripperdactyls. Oh, but if the Furies chase them off, they're dead for sure. Let's see, our viewer rewards, was it? Okay, alright. I'm gonna stick to just bicep curls today. Just bicep curls for the rest of the day after I'm done with my next 10 lat raises. Whew. Yeah, I should keep it slow so I don't injure myself. Let's see. The thing is, Tarmacon's still in pretty good health though. I don't think you can snipe it with a half health. Geltblom's terror. Geltblooms. I think it's Geltblooms. Yeah, also dang. The next round has begun. Oishi had a buy round, so I must increase the Swiss points. And then we can get started. You're gonna get buff. Okay, no, Oishi does have a Swiss point. Okay, wonderful. Sick. So let's just make sure that's all set. So Oishi had a buy round and he has a Swiss point. Wondrous. So then we do advanced Swiss, not generate bracket, because it will blow up everything. And then we're gonna go here. Announcement tourney at Goblins. Round 2. Alright. Alright. Give me a hectic Monday, man. We're up against Son of Heaven. Wondrous. Son of Heaven. Hit him up with the yo-yo. What we got? Yeah, he's trying to snipe Tarmacon as much as possible. Alright, let's send him my factions. And then who's top bracket? I'm top bracket. Alright, so we got picks and bans. How's the tickets going? Tickets are fairly close, but Nurgle's ahead because of the healing. Generally, close tickets means that close tickets, close value is gonna be sus, but I think Sotek's just barely falling behind. I guess he technically does have Apotheosis from Azimundi though, so the healing is probably offset fairly evenly, and it's just gonna come down to who can outgrind more, who can get that slight value trading. But like, Tarmacon's a beast, man. Does he have anti-large on his mount? He doesn't. Okay. He doesn't. So that means that he's going to be a little bit worse against Masamundi. Ooh. But I don't think he's killing him. Unless these skink skirmishers get a lot of value. Tarmacon is actually fairly weak to ranged fire. He has... Oh, he does have 25% missile resist. But not a lot of armor. He's exhausted. Minus 15. Dude, he has 45 armor? That's like nothing. Anyway, Son of Heaven's factions are Beastmen, Khorne, Dark Elves, Nurgle, Tomb Kings. Who does well against them? I'll go... What, do I go High Elves? That means it's probably going to be, what, Khorne, Beastmen, I don't know, Dark Elves, Tomb Kings. Oh god, it's all terrible. I'll go... Could go Grand Cathay into Beastmen, Khorne. No. That's also terrible. Actually, Grand Cathay, If he goes Beastman Corn, the rest is Dark Elf, Nurgles, Tomb Kings. Man, the odds of losing though are really high. I'll go High Elves. Sure. I'll go High Elves. Why not? I think if my life was on the line, I might go Grand Cathay instead. Wait, no. No, if my life was on the line, I think I would go High Elves. I want to practice Grand Cathay, but I also want to make it to semifinals today. Are you going to be hosting another tournament today? Thinking about it. I really want to get some videos out. It's been a long time coming. Maybe Tammy will fall victim to the sweet sirens of Lustria. I don't think so. I'm gonna guarantee Tarmacon lives. He's too much of a beast, man. Masamundi's 31-42 melee stats. Tarmacon's 43-54. He has like a 20% higher chance to hit and not be hit compared to Masamundi. It's pretty bad, man. It's pretty bad. He also has 2,000 and a bit more HP than Masamundi too. I guess there's Sacred Croxagores here. Shield of the Old Ones is good. Masamundi does still have his heal cap, but like he's not gonna kill Tarmacon though, right? Khorne, Dark Elves, and Nurgle. Let's play High Elves versus Nurgle. I'll play versus Nurgle. That seems doable, right? High Elves versus Nurgle. What's the worst that can happen? That's pretty good actually. That's not too bad. Also, yeah, triple capped. When you start down trading into Nurgle, they have really good capture weight. Marauders and Nurglings are both extremely good. Oh, is he gonna kill Tarmacon though? That would be pretty sick. Anyways, we're gonna have to speed this up. Oh, holy crap, he killed Tarmacon! I was incorrect. Yo, Hitman Hippo losing the big man. Oh my gosh. Wait, yo, is that a crazy comeback? You're kidding me. Wait, so he captures the far point. Holy crap. Wait a second. Before I get into my next match, wait just a darn second. Dude, Sotek's actually pretty scary. And he summoned Kaizek. He summoned Kaizek, who just died instantly to Masamundi. Oh, all right, exercising done. Oh boy. Okay, that was a pretty big flub from Hitman Hippo. He did still barely win on tickets, but that got way too close, man. Dude, what the crap? How much value did this guy get? Pretty good. Masamundi with the 4K though, and healing. Insane value on the Mazda. I think if he didn't lose his Ripperdactyls, like his flying game, I think his flyers took a little bit too much damage. But everything else was quite sick. I think Sotek's cavalry micro actually goes pretty hard. It's more so, I think it's the Pterodons that held him back there. Yeah, that's crazy though. He steel Jared Tarmacon. All right, anyways, High Elves versus Nurgle. You guys know what the strat is? What's the scariest thing Nurgle can throw at me? Not much, right? It's just Nurgle. It's just Nurgle, man. It's just Nurgle. That ain't too bad. You don't know if Glittering Robe helps First Furies. I feel like Oishikun's been playing around with Glittering Robe a lot. He's been playing around with Glittering Robe a lot, and I don't really see it doing that much. Full kite Elves, of course. Then it's full anti-kite Nurgle. Lots of Armored Chosen and the like. Armored Chaos Warriors. It's the classic. You always see that type of stuff when you're playing High Elves, because the thing they lack almost all the time is armor piercing. Armor piercing is the great bane of the High Elves. Now, it doesn't mean that we do not have some good options. In fact, High Elves, we saw Charix go for a sick high armor piercing build with High Elves that beat my Cathay. So, you know, they probably got some teeth. Let's see, what do I want here? So I want one of those. I definitely want a couple of these. Maybe just a couple. Then I have a bunch of that. Is this a good ability? You know, it's not that great, is it? I have extra money though, so I might as well. Let's see here. Are War Lions of Trace any good here? They're probably like decent at cleaning up, right? They gotta be decent at that. All right, this should be good enough. It's pretty vanilla. There's nothing too crazy going on here. Aren't White Lions kind of good? Well, you know, they're kind of good. Kind of good doesn't cut it, but we're up against Nurgle, so I think we'll be okay. Oh yeah, stretching. I still have to stretch. Time to go Blade Masters plus Phoenix Guard. Ooh, all right. Ragnarok Lair. Really? That's the second map? Oh god. All right. But also they're called Sword Masters. This ain't Warcraft 3. I have been playing Warcraft 3, by the way. I'm almost at 1,200 eel. I've been winning a lot of games. Crushing it, man. It's going great. Yo, if he takes Uncle for Uncle, props to Son of Heaven for dropping out of the tournament early, man. Uncle for Uncle against High Elves? Oh, God. All right, welcome to my build. 9 units. Interesting. So I brought Plague of Rust. I will just Plague of Rust his face. Terrain? What do you mean terrain? What do you mean terrain? What? Wait. Is that like a puddle or something? What do you mean terrain? Why is his speed decreased? Alright. Here we go. Guys, a Noxbringer. Okay, I guess a Noxbringer makes sense. That's pretty standard Nurgle anti-kite shenanigans. Let's see. I have a lot of Cav. Marauders, Chaos Warriors. Okay. So he doesn't know where my Shadow Warriors are. Oh, no, he does, because they're capturing the point. So he's just going to back it up. I'm not going to fight these guys. He could dodge my arrows. But, yeah, we're just kind of chilling with them. He's really dodging with that Noxbringer. Get that shot off. Hell yeah. So Noxbringer shoots. I'm going to dodge it. And that's a perfect time to get a volley loosed into his Marauders. That's a pretty good trade, right? We can stop the Noxbringer from shooting by using my Shadow Warriors to hard carry here. Are they going to re-stealth? I need to get another Dodgerino. Did the Noxbringer even shoot? I don't see no projectiles. Whatever. Marauders taking heat. Now he doesn't have a lot of Cav, which means that a Lion Chariot's probably pretty decent here, right? We're gonna rout off the Marauders. We're gonna dodge them projectiles. Not really though, not the best dodge I've ever had. And then we're gonna turn these Chaos Warriors into Marauders. That's definitely the next order of operations. His Lord's coming in though. How much value can he possibly get off of this Noxbringer, however? No idea. It did miss another shot. Just definitely good for me. Unfortunately, I don't really have much to deal with single entities. Outside of just bogging them down with cavalry, I guess. That's not the worst thing in the world, but definitely not the best either. However, oh, we did get a big hit. Oh, he got a pretty big hit on my guys. That means less ammunition, less value trading. But we have cavalry here now. Noxbringer, I don't know who he's targeting. Okay, he targeted the chariots. That's not too bad. I should be able to re-secure this point. And we're just gonna play ultra safe. The skirmishers must live at all costs. Absolutely, the skirmishers must survive. It is imperative that they do not get massacred here. How much armor does his lord have? Only 80. I wonder if a full surround with the cav actually kills him here. With a little bit of Plague of Rust. Because that brings him down to like no armor, right? It's kind of jokes. Because you know cav surrounds can typically do fairly good. Chaos Knights? Okay. Can I brace in the forest here? Brace in the forest? I think he had to chuck out a heal. It's pretty nice. And the damage was okay. Damage was fine. Plague Toads will just hit on up. Here comes the cav. Plague of Rust. Yeah, I think he healed him with something. Regardless, we're still doing fine. There's the Chaos Knights. Whoops. Target down the Furies. And remember, it's just keeping my boys alive. As long as the skirmishers live, they will generate infinity value for me. And there will be no fear whatsoever. The White Lion Chariots, however, are taking a lot of damage. But overall, game says value trading's atrocious. It's not tracking the skirmish damage properly, though. I assure you, it's definitely not tracking the skirmish damage. Because skirmish-wise, I'm doing great, okay? Nobody can tell me that the skirmishers aren't cooking. So those are more Chaos Warriors. Accidental dodge on my part saves my butt. He only has the one capture point. That's good. His Plague Toads are taking pretty big heat. Downhill charge on these guys. Should get him killed, so I don't need to use my Plague of Rust there. Looks like these guys are pretty done for, too. And I really don't know how the Chaos Knights of Nurgle do. My personal take is that they suck. Kaizek is also super bogged down. So he's not really doing anything too useful. There you go. Chaos Knights in some trouble. Gotta get some cav here to stop the capture. And then you see those exposed Chaos Warriors of Nurgle. That's why we're disengaging here. So I can get a sick Plague of Rust into endless archer volley into his face. That should get him dead. That's hella value. Chaos Warriors do not like getting Plague of Rusted. Those are just Pestigors. Who cares? Not nearly as spooky. Chariots working them. And his Noxbringer is out of ammunition. Rejoice. Noxbringer is or I guess out of ammo, but that's pretty good. Because now my skirmishers have free reign. I've done a fairly good job protecting them. Ticket wise, we're doing good. His Chaos Warriors are indeed massacred. And overall, I think this is going quite well for us. You know, especially with that middle point cap, especially with the whole Chaos Knight summon. Still don't know what that was about. Pestigors, don't they have pretty good missile resist? 25%, but not a lot of armor. High Elves do a lot of damage, so I think it's fine. Oh, there's more Pestigors. Okay. Let's just rear charge these Chaos Warriors just to get them out of the situation first and foremost. Nurglings are not a big deal. I don't really have to worry about that. We have re-secured our point. And Kaizek's kind of being useless right now. Anyone else noticing that Kaizek's just kind of not really doing much? This is the great thing about cavalry. They just kind of muck you up for ages. I noticed it when I was playing with the Green Knight. Cavalry surrounds on the Green Knight are especially brutal. Okay, you know what? Mini Plague of Rust just to kill off these Chaos Warriors. I foresee them causing me a lot of issues in the future if I'm not careful. So we're just gonna hit them up with the Plague of Rust. We are starting to get some D summons. I have more cavalry here to save my archers, so I shouldn't have to worry about them. Thank goodness for cavalry. Woo, Kaizek's trying to disrupt the D summon. But I think my tickets are just too good, right? D-summon is insane value too. That's the main benefit of saving your boys for later. Today we really babysat my poor archers, and I think it will pay off. Now with the cavalry spam, the cleanup crew is underway. Kaisek's just bogged down, hell yeah. And I still have a double cap, so I don't really have to worry that much. Unfortunately, his Chaos Knights, I do not have a great answer for, other than just sacking my cav into them. That part's a little bit rough. As far as plays go, I would much rather have a Plague of Rust, but I guess a Searing Doom might do. Does he have a lot of units left? It really is just all in the Noxbringer. He disengages, but that means my cav gets more hits on him. No Lord Death just yet. Oh, this is sick. Look at that. Plague of Rust while he tries to disengage. So now they're super dead. Ain't no way those Chaos Knights are recovering from that, man. Straight 54 armor. I turned them into light cavalry. So that means they are absolutely out of here, man. The only thing worse than High Elves is Chaos Knights. And indeed, they do go down. And now the cavalry swarm wins. That's essentially all I need. My lord shall stay alive. We'll just keep her nice and safe. Cycle charges toads to get him killed. Triple caps underway. One of them's out of ammunition. Great time for a D-summon. And yeah, I don't think he's ever recapturing these points. I think it's totally over for him. Barring some very suspicious circumstances. We're gonna prevent such circumstances by keeping my lord alive. Run, little lord, run! Get out of there, lady! And we basically just denied his big single entities, right? Noxbringer you can totally dodge if you're good enough. Triple cap is in. And now what? I have nothing I can summon other than Shadow Warrior, so I guess I'm just gonna bring them in. Fire at Will's on because absolutely they will not use up all their ammunition this battle. So we're just gonna leave that. Pestigores, or these Chaos Warriors, are capturing that side point. They're kind of taking the sweet time with it though. And by bogging these guys down, they won't be able to provide any capture weight. That's nice. Do I have any units though? Everything's like routing off the battlefield or getting resummoned. I have my playstyle. I don't know if it's bad playstyle or not, but generally I don't desummon units very often, which can sometimes lead to these awkward situations where I run out of units. Thank goodness for for the Elven hug. They're just these cavalry units are just sacrificing their lives for the greater good, man. Oh my god. They're just like, I'm not gonna kill Kaisek or his lord. I guess that Plague of Rust was not useful in the end. But yeah. Yeah, Kaisek, I think he wanted to go for my lord, but she was just too slippery with all the cav support. I don't think he actually got an opportunity to jump her. This is the benefits of playing other factions, by the by. You get to learn their play styles. And then you don't make mistakes with them in the big tournaments. Yo, she's not even routing out, man. She took ages to get out of the cavalry, so that will delay my lord loss penalty. Because she's probably not coming back, but with the triple cap and basically no more units for Nurgle, I think we're fine. We're just gonna stuff them up. You know, High Elf stuffing up Nurgle is something that you typically don't see. But with the value lead, anything is possible. Yeah, she ain't coming back, man. Oh, she ain't coming back. Not at all. Can I stall him with these white lines? You know, might as well, right? Kind of jokes. Yeah, that Noxbringer, though. How much value did he get? He did pay for himself, but a little bit too little too late, right? If you're just super on point with the dodges, it's fine. Cast a spell. It gives me 12% more damage. Is it worth? Absolutely not. Plague of Rust for another little damage boost. We have stalling. We gotta stall as long as possible. Though we're definitely winning this. I don't think he has much. Yo, is Charix right? High Elves are actually OP. An actual use case for Blight Boil. Blight Boil just to force a disengage? That's kind of jokes. It's actually kind of jokes. Crazy play. Okay, it's still way too expensive though, right? 14 wins of magic to force a disengage. You know, there is some fun spell canceling strats you can do though. Yeah, she came back. She actually came back. There's some cool spell canceling strats you can do. Where you cast a Blight Boil and then you cast like Foe Seeker or something so that your opponent dodges a lot more. I used to try doing that with Vangeist's Revenge. It did not work very well though. Because it turns out casting spells is better than feigning casting spells a lot of the time. It can be very hard to guarantee that you get the hit. It's wild that I can queue into Oishion Ladder and get my teeth kicked in. Yeah, no matchmaking is really quite sus. Anyways, that worked out really well. I had a very thin army. I had a kite army. And the Noxbringer was not enough. High Elves versus Nurgle. High Elves takes the win. All right. Honestly, not bad. I think High Elves are in a fairly good spot right now. Redeemed 15 bicep curls. Oh, God. I missed that one. Oh, wait, no. Did I do that? I think I already did it. I think we're fine. Let's see here. So Levis has a buy round. Levis should be at 0 Swiss points up to 1. Let's just check real quick. Is spell canceling banned in most tournaments? It was, because there was a bug where you could trigger the spell passive without casting the spell. CA fixed that fairly. I did not. Dang it. CA did fix that in due time, so it's not a problem anymore. But essentially what people were doing, this is some Warhammer history for you. So why it's important to keep on top of bugs. Yeah, I think it was the plague one. Plague rash. Yeah, vigor per second minus 1%. So if you keep canceling and switching spells for about a minute and 40 seconds, then you can drain the vigor of the enemy army before they get to you. And that makes it basically an ambush battle. It makes it kind of like you caught the army out in march stance, to be more accurate. And needless to say, that was pretty OP because it cost Skaven nothing. So yeah, it had to be banned, because obviously that's disgusting. That was real bad. That was a real bad one. Oh God, my arms, the noodles. I gotta get some food today too. And yeah, Silostra had a damage over time army wide, which you get like 10% of their HP before the main fight went in. That was pretty rough too. Yeah. Nowadays though, it's kind of a fun tech that's not very useful. No, it would be really cool with some of the damage spells, but I don't know if CA can get it done. Whew. You just won your first legendary campaign, but you didn't get the achievement? What? What do you mean? Submit the bug to CA, and then maybe when they fix it, you can just load into the one legendary campaign. And then you get your achievement. Do you only need a short victory for the achievement, or does it have to be a long victory? Maybe there was some shenaniganry there. It has to be a long. You got a long? You got a long victory and you didn't get your achievement? What the crap? I remember there was a bug before, mucking around with that. But yeah, just you know, give the bug report, and then maybe you can load into it at a later date to get it. Yeah, spam a few end turns, you know the works. You need long victory? Jeez Louise. Are there any PvP mods that are interesting? Not really. No one really uses mods outside of the Total Tavern map pack, which adds a lot of good maps to multiplayer. Alright, now how many more matches need to go? Only 3 more until the next round. Hell yeah. Hell to the yeah. Let's see here. All right. The title says worse. Where is Nurgle? I won a tournament with Nurgle. I haven't won a tournament with many of these factions. I think I haven't won a... Have I won an SFT with High Elves, Greenskins, Skaven, Dark Elves, or Cathay? I don't think I have. Which means my Nurgle might actually be better than these guys. Tomorrow, though, I'm definitely going Dowie, Coast, Vampire Counts, Chaos Dwarves, and Nurgle, though. And then after that, we pick the worst from those 10. You might need max cheats for the AI for the legendary achievement. What a ripoff. Hey, Gideon, what's up, man? What's up? Pretty sure you have with High Elves. I think maybe I got 1. I know Charix won a lot. Then maybe I got 1 with High Elves. Yeah, I think this pick 5 list was done before the previous stream. I think it was done before the previous stream. Anyways, well, I got more streams in me, all right? We'll be here tomorrow with more worst faction shenanigans. I think like my actual worst is probably, you know, I do need to learn vampire counts, so I'm keeping them in. I think vampire counts, Skaven, Grand Cathay, Dowie probably, and Greenskins. I played some games against Own Goal the other day, formerly known as Tim the Wilder. Heading out then? Wait, sorry, what? What did I play in the first match? Skaven versus Lizardmen. It was a very one-sided affair where I shot him with Jazales for the whole match. Chowie, yeah, Chowie are up there. Chowie are most definitely up there. Watch a Maximilian replays. Like, I think it comes down to, like, how well can you stick to your corpse card and not let it die. Hey, Noble Naldor with a gifted sub. Thank you so much. Every little bit does help a lot. Thought about the stream ending. Oh, no, it's not ending. We're just getting started, man. We just getting started. Would you be able to use the Dowie Air Force and win? It would be an Air Force light build. Full Air Force builds are really sketchy because they don't really kill fast enough. And you're almost guaranteed to get triple capped. I should check too. Oh, hey, nice. Next round can begin. Advancing the Swiss. No one's asking me for admin issues. Hell yeah. Announcement tourney at Goblins. Round 3. All right, so quick count. So top, bottom, top, bottom, 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 top, bottom, bottom, top, top, bottom, bottom, top, top, bottom, bottom. So far, today's tournament is slightly leaning for the bottom. I'm up against Nacho Fur. Hell yeah. Nacho. Yo, yo. What are my factions? Oh, whoops. Sent to the wrong person. All right. Nacho Fur, what are his factions? So I'm top bracket. His factions are, let's see, for Poland, Nacho Fur, Dwarves X5. Me Dwarves. He got 2 wins in a row with Dwarves X5. That's crazy, man. Well, between High Elves, Greenskins, Skaven, Dark Elves, and Grand Cathay, I guess Skaven is what makes the most sense. Did Dwarves ever get tech against Skaven, or is it still atrocious? I haven't played this since Warhammer 2. Good God, alright. Straight up Dwarves X5 and is winning? We can't have this, man. I gotta put a stop to this. Let's see, what's the map? The map is Crystal Lake. All right, here we go. Greenskins for the lore. The dwarves win in that lore, my dude. I don't like this loreful pick. Besides, Skaven is better for the lore, and the Skaven win, okay? You can't get better than this. Crystal Lake's fairly open. That's a good one. You found the problem? You have to win the endgame scenario on Legendary to unlock the achievement? Wow. Yo, endgames take a while to clean up, too. Brutality. Enjoy, you know, this is like 50-hour campaign, unless you're speedrunning. Okay, so a Dowie versus Skaven. You want a fast corpse cart? Corpse Cart speed needs a buff. Actually, Vampire Counts is one of the highest win rate factions, thanks to Maximillionaire. They're definitely very strong if you're good at them. The thing is, I think Vampire Counts are a really difficult faction to play optimally, because most people that try to emulate it, they lose. They do lose a lot of the time. Yeah, mortars are really good here. Really the biggest thing is, like, you know, don't die to their artillery, right? Most definitely don't get artillery shot to death, and make sure the Dowie flyers don't get to you. So gyrocopters and the like, those are your big annoying ones, but totally manageable, man. Totes manageable. Unfortunately, I don't know what magic is good here. What is good here? Actually, you know, this is actually not too bad. Yeah, we go for ooh, yeah, we go for a little bit of this action. Okay, now what magic do I want? Magic-wise, Skaven have a few options. Vermintide, Plague, Wither. I guess this one's probably I'll just go for these two. Fairly cheap caster. Eshin lore always. Max warp grinders. I know what chat wants. All I gotta do is not take what chat wants, and I'll probably be fine. All right, so I definitely want one of these. I definitely want a lot of these. The Dowie Mantide can be quite terrifying indeed. Definitely want some of those. Couple of these. Maybe one of these too. The thing is, this matchup plays almost entirely differently from like any other matchup. This is a very weird one to play. If Notchifer wins this, definitely good on him. The chat wants me to take Eshin and Warp Grinders. Yes. The best plays known to man, for sure. Yep. Totes. Do I have a way to kill Slayers? I guess I should probably take a couple of these. Yeah, okay, so I got my anti-Slayer attack. I have that. Generally speaking, this should be very advantaged for Skaven. The problem is that Notchifer's been playing a lot of Dwarves, and I have not been playing a lot of Skaven. But hey, you know, in a tournament, I may run into this as a counter pick. So we gotta be ready for it. What's Son of the Mountain? SOTM? Yeah, it's Son of the Mountain. It's like a dwarf clan or something. At least last I checked, it's a lot. They have a lot of dwarf players. It's a dwarf themed clan, I think. I don't know if they're accepting non-Dowie players, but it's pretty spooky. Ugh. All right. They do accept non-Dowie, okay. All right. So, Eshin. You guys love to see it. So I brought a few Eshin units. Gonna play for the high ground. I don't think he's going to forest flank me. I also get the benefits of cover. I have an infinite number of summons. So we're gonna use these guys to flank. And then I have my Jezzails. Then I have my Jezzails, and they're gonna be sick. Also, I brought Queek with the trophy heads. He's a classic. He's an absolute classic versus Dowie. Queek is like, he's old school cool, man. Queek used to annihilate dwarves. He has 66 melee attack. Bonus 35 versus infantry. This guy right here has 101 melee attack versus dwarves. 101 melee attack. Okay. He's better than Sigvald. A to K, thank you very much for the Danish krona. Kroner. Yeah, Queek. He has trophy heads to get an effective 141 melee attack. It's sick. He has an ultra wide dwarf build. Makes sense. Now the question is he gonna summon any gyros today or what? I think he has a very big incentive to summon gyrocopters. They do counter my Eshin units. They're also really good at spotting. So these guys are going to have to stay near my Jezzails. Otherwise they die. I can't afford to make too many crazy flanks here. But a full frontal fight ain't too comfortable either. I'm probably just gonna... Yeah, I'm just gonna get more Jezzails, aren't I? This is a big old Jezzailable army, ain't it? This gyrocopter number 1. Gyro bombers. Mad Lad brought gyro bombers to the party. Okay. I unfortunately did not get my triple cap early. You kind of need that early triple cap. Did these guys reveal themselves? They might have. But yeah, I gotta buy as much time as possible because he's gonna push me around, right? Long Drong Slayers. Okay. Not too bad. I got summons for him. And so begins the Jezzailing. So he has a lot of his forces out of position. That's definitely a big advantage. Couple dwarf warriors here. Surprise! Surprise, I got my units. Gotta kill off them boys. Get a summon on his face. So the idea here is I'm focusing his wee blasting charges because they are the biggest threat to my forces here. Queek can definitely kill this guy. That's not a big deal. Couple bomb drops on my guys. Also not too much of a big deal. The moment his blasting charges are done for, he's done for. All right. Sure, the gyrocopters are getting a little bit of work in. Queek is the annihilator of Thanes, though. That's not a big deal. Then we get our boys in. Come on, just route those blasting charges, man. Just route them up. There you go. And then we go for a Lord Snibidus Snipe. Unfortunately, yeah, it looks like he will be surviving. The gyrocopter swarm is absolutely a menace. Queek's in a little bit of trouble too, but hey, you know, we got route there. Maybe we can even snipe his Lord. Lord Snipe would be big action for sure. His gyro bombers are indeed a menace, but Lord Snipe is most definitely underway. And we will have a bit of a flank for ourselves here. Get another Jezzail to snipe his ranged. These ones can just go here. He shouldn't be able to get too much of a volley off with these blasting charges if I'm lucky. A little bit of lag, it happens. That's just a clan rat summon, who cares? Queek going for that Thane snipe. The gyro bomber will have a harder time hitting him in the forest, so that's good. And we get a decent engagement without too many heavy losses. The Lord overextend is probably the best thing for us right now. So the thing about Jezzails is that they are extraordinarily fast. And they will typically get some real good disengages. And just shoot you up. This is the most annoying thing for dwarves to deal with. And you can see his Lord is taking a lot of damage because of it. Over here on the flank, no blasting charges. So if I just summon a bunch of my my dudes, it should be fine. His Lord's dead. Queek's safe. Queek's safe and massacring his guys. That's pretty good. So as long as his bomb drops aren't too good, I'll be fine. Get him, clan rats. Slayers are weak to clan rats. Gyrocopters are weak to guns. Queek annihilating his Thane. Value trading wise, kind of close though. Unfortunately for me. Just that little bit close. Melee gyrocopters. What does the world come to? So they just get routed off because melee gyrocopters. That much is fairly certain. Queek on the chase. He's hunting. Alright, and they're just shutting down these miners. So these guys are stealthed. He doesn't see them. So they should be able to get a lot working. Then I can start recapturing points because he's used up most of his gyrocopters. Overall, The damage is solid. Could be a little bit better. Gyrocopters are, you know, they can tussle against Jezzails. He gets one blasting volley, blasting charge in there too. But I should be able to recapture the points, and I know the dwarves are really bad at securing points. He does lose the gyro bombers. That's really good. I think all I really need now is for my ROR Jezzails to come back, and I should be fine. I should be okay. The ground dominance is definitely in our favor right now. It's just kind of closing it out, right? God, those gyrocopters. What do? Summon some slingers? Okay, gyro bomber's gone. That's huge. If that rallied, that would be such a big issue. There you go. Okay, triple cap the Dowies. Triple capping the Dowie. Remember, they did lose their lord. All right, I got Skaven slave slingers over here. And yeah, there goes his infantry line. So I think maybe he overcommitted on the gyrocopters now. So like, yes, he's going to be able to kill the Jezzails, but will he ever be able to resecure points against me? I think the odds are fairly unlikely, considering the circumstances, right? These are brimstone guns, normal gyros, okay. So now the question is, do I play a value game or a capture weight game? I think that's kind of the biggest thing we have to manage here, right? Because, yeah, we have gyrocopters. If he gets critical mass of gyrocopters, we're done for, right? We can't win. So, yeah, he routed off my Jezzails. I don't know. It's kind of a toss-up, right? Can he recapture points? He summoned another gyro. Okay, so there's no way I will ever be able to secure these, to secure a value lead. He simply has too many gyrocopters. But I have triads, okay? I have hella triads. I have single entities. I have all the tools in the world to essentially stall him into oblivion. So I just gotta do that then, right? So we're just gonna get our flayers to kill off the dwarven infantry. I'm just gonna kill off all of his capture weight, and because he has an army of basically only gyrocopters, he should be screwed. Surprise! Death runners were there the whole time. All right, spread out, death runners. Stealth it up, man. Just stealth it up. There's no way he wins this. He's triple capped and he has an army of only gyrocopters. Barring my entire army routing because Queek dies, I should be fine. And these guys are super stealth, okay? That's a whole shtick. So he's never ever going to be able to find them as long as I play my cards right. The flayers are doing great into the Longbeards. They are distracting his gyrocopters too. Although blasting charges here is rough. Run for your lives, death runners, run! All right, let the stalling begin. Stalling, not Stalin-ing. Crap. Regardless, Queek's doing okay. I think he's friendly firing a little bit here too. That's a nice one. The dwarven retake is on. Can he recapture any of these points? Maybe I summon a mutant rat ogre. Maybe that's a little bit better at stalling him out. Sure, why not? Get that mutant rat ogre in there. And then if these death runners catch his miners, he's just done for, man. He's just done for. Death runners are being sneaky. We did kill his Longbeards, so his backline capture weight's absolutely gone now. And he doesn't have enough brimstone guns to kill these, so that's fairly good. There you go, rat ogre on its way. Queek holding the fort. Get some summons. Just get the summons. I'm gonna punish him for running the gyrocopters, man. We're absolutely gonna punish him for that. Rat ogre has good capture weight, so he should be fine. Yeah, Eshin, not triads, but what's it? Doing fairly good. Queek lives too. Skaven slaves? They're not a melee unit, but they have a little bit of capture weight for cheap. I'll take it. Rat Ogre's doing its best to stall. Queek's doing great. We got a fairly good catch over here. As long as Queek doesn't die. I think if he snipes Queek, we're actually in a little bit of trouble. But I got flares up the wazoo. The thing is, he went anti-infantry, and I have monstrous and flares, right? His doom is inevitable, really. Let's see here. Yeah, okay. Yeah, you see, it's what? Are these brimstone guns? He has one brimstone gun. Okay, totally fine. This rat ogre claps, man. Oh my gosh, this sneaky Skaven are too powerful. Stealth it up, get the Eshin boys back in. The only thing he can summon to recapture the points gets annihilated by my Eshin units. We get a rout. Who cares that he controls the skies? You have nothing else, dude. You got nothing else. Queek has killed all of your single entities. Oh my goodness. As expected, Skaven are still good versus dwarves. Was it a little sus? Maybe. Maybe it was a little sus, but closing out the game, fairly straightforward, right? I think dwarves just have one of the worst end games in domination outside of like Cathay. Look at this guy. 14 melee defense to 46 melee attack and 35 bonus versus infantry. Insane. Get a summon. Don't get blasting charges. Ugh. Run, little Skaven slaves. Okay, we're good. We get our little attack over there. And he ain't taking any of these points. Value trading still fairly even because he had to YOLO a lot of units in. Queek's the Chad. Queek the Chad. He killed 2 Thanes. 1,100 value. He's annihilating him. He's so fast. 25 speed's not that fast, actually. Oh, wait, no. He's 34. Oh, hell yeah. Queek the Chad. Queek reigns supreme. I knew Warhammer 2 would come in clutch one day. Amazing. Good stuff, man. It feels so good to be able to counterpick. I will say this tournament format favors me a lot. Yo, he actually paid for himself. Queek. How long has it been since we've seen a proper queekening? Surprised to see an Eshin build work. This is an old school classic, man. This is exactly how people played it in Warhammer 2. So like legitimately, this is actually, it's old meta, but it is meta. This is ancient meta. Yeah, so the thing about Death Runners is that they hard counted dwarves. They died to cavalry, but like they forced the gyrocopters out. And then they kind of clutch it from there. The Jezzails did great work sniping as the Lord. That's a classic. And now we got Doom Flayers too. Verminous Valor, not worth it. Yeah, like you only just need the one sniping ability. Oh, GG, GG. It looks like a meme build, but it's meta. Is there a reason you consistently take regular poison mortars over the ROR? It's, well, I didn't summon them this game, but it is just cheaper. The ROR, the thing is, it starts getting worth to doom dive your gyrocopters onto it. Like you saw how he could route off my Jezzails, right? I really need a cheaper option that he can't just YOLO into and value trade. Like the thing costs 1,500, man. You could send 2 normal gyrocopters, and if it kills it, you're up trading. Obviously, if they don't have tools to kill it, though, it's great. But like 1 cannon could shut it down. He didn't go for artillery, though. Or he didn't summon artillery because capturing is so important. So, great success. Whoopsie daisies. Misclicked. Gotta submit my score. The Dread Skaven versus Dwarves. Okay, so I do have some eye drops here. I did get some eye drops to deal with the dryness. Be back in a second. Ah, yeah. Ah, refreshing. Hey, I actually hit my eyes this time. I'm like usually pretty bad at giving myself eye drops. This is going in the book. It's the whole book is Skaven shenanigans. Yo, the Doomflayers though, they were really hard to kill. All right, there we go. Hydrated. Would the Teeth Breakers be worth bringing for gyrocopters? They can be okay, but they're a bit easily shut down by other things. I bought just Jezzails because they're good into infantry too. No one but dwarves care about that book. Until the dwarves come to your island and start killing everyone. Just remember, the dwarves won that war. They absolutely won that war, you know. So, yeah, the thing is, the golden age of the dwarves is over, man. They're not gonna, you know, they're not annihilating provinces no more. The age of the rat is coming. Yo, what wars during the War of the Beard, or whatever it's called? Were the Skaven in power at all? What were the Skaven doing during that? Were they like on the down low? Because like nowadays I associate Skaven with like, you know, bullying the dwarves a little bit. Although I guess like in lore, right, Skaven are more on the hiding. Like the problem is dwarves kind of lost a lot of their holds. They lost a lot of holds. Wasn't the end times the golden age of Skaven? Okay, yeah, well, we don't talk about that. Yeah, I think Skaven never really got a golden age. Skitterleap flayers. So you want me to take an Eshin sorcerer and then Skitterleap the Doomflayers to surprise his units? That's actually kind of hilarious. If the dwarves go wide, you can totally just Skitterleap. If only the spell was good. If the... Can I get the duration to go longer? No, you just make it AoE. If this was a 1 minute duration, that would be so sick. If you look at Death Runners, yeah, this concealment bombs is what Skitterleap should be. For some reason, Skitterleap is 1/3 of the duration. Isn't that garbage? Why is it that spells... Isn't magic supposed to be like sick in the Warhammer universe? Anyways, yeah, it's a bit of a problem. If Skitterleap was as good as concealment bombs, I would totally consider running it. But unfortunately, it's 1/3 as good as like an offhand ability for your units that already have it. I might as well just run Skitterleap on the Death Runners, right? This is technically 12 winds of magic. 12 winds of magic. Oh my god. Imagine if you could bring units with 12 winds of magic and you can use it 3 times. So technically Death Runners, if you bring a unit of Death Runners, you get 36 winds of magic. That's the CA spell balancing for you. Oh, it doesn't give a speed boost though. My bad. I guess it does give 25% speed. My bad. Honestly, I'd be down if they removed the speed and just turned it into concealment bombs. Make it AoE, whatever, man. It'd be so hype. That's like a total Skaven shenanigan. Yeah, if I would change the spell, I would remove the speed bonus. You don't keep the speed bonus, it's cool. Make it AoE, make it last 70 seconds. And then people would actually like spam it all the time. It'd be so cool, man. That'd be so cool. Imagine people running Eshin sorcerers to like basically make Fog of War, right? So like people would just run double Eshin sorcerer and just like full stealth the whole army. And then you have Fog of War and Domination. And it's like, wow, You really gotta, and then if it was really that powerful, if it was OP, then people would actually have a reason to run Satang. Holy crap, that would be so cool, man. And then it's like, oh man, he brought the Satang to detect the Skaven, and it's like super thematic too. God dang it. God dang it, man. Why does it gotta suck so much? It would make things so much cooler. Oh my gosh. Oh, a man can dream. A man can dream. Have it give the snipe attribute too. Yeah, there's like so many ways you can make it cooler. And like Skaven are weak now, you know, you can make it. And like, here's the thing, right? You can always increase the price of the spell. But like, just give it a cool effect, you know? Like right now, everyone's playing around, it's mostly damage spells, direct damage. Before it used to be summons and damage spells. Oh my god. A man can dream. It really is a pretty cool spell. We'll see. I'm waiting for CA's big spell reworking. Brittle bone? Oh, is that how it worked on tabletop? It would do damage while you're moving. 2 more matches to finish, by the way. Unlimited summon spells. Yeah. I think damage spells don't need to be nerfed anymore. Because number one, they're in a fairly good place, and number two, the single player community doesn't appreciate that. So we don't need to nerf it again with no reason, right? They just got to start making these spells catch up. Can Ratmen dream? Probably. I think they dream a lot. That's how they have so many aspirations for greatness. Only to get thwarted by their comrades again and again. But yeah, the coolest spells. Skitter Leap is an insanely cool spell. Missile Mirror. Where's it at? I can't believe they would invent cool spells and not make them good, man. There's so many. Yeah, so Skitter Leap is a really cool spell. Crystal Sanctuary is a really cool spell too. Just make it cheaper, man. Make it cheaper and then like make it last longer. Because you can cast it on range units. And make the cast time like 1 second. If it's not already. But like this is really cool as like a counter spell type of thing. And also dwarves should have a version of this for their rune magic. Like dwarves should just have an ability that you just click and it gives you like, you know, some resistances to magic. Right now rune magic doesn't have that. Like Rune of Oath and Steel. All right, I don't know, give that like some spell resist or something. A lot of these like armor tankiness spells are cool. The one of them that is actually good is Flesh to Stone. In specific cases, it's mostly because you just want Earthblood though, and then you might as well run it. If you could cancel Fiery Convocation mid-cast, that would actually be pretty sick. Because then you can surprise people. As it stands, this animation takes a little bit too long, so it is dodgeable most of the time. And it is kind of hard to counter spells. It'd be cool if there was just a button you could do to cancel spells. That would actually make some of the bigger spells slightly more interesting. Curse of the Leper is really cool. I think they should just make Curse of the Leper good. Just make it good. It's so Nurgle themed, right? I don't care if Curse of the Leper is OP. I don't care if it's the only spell Nurgle runs, okay? Because it's cooler than Stream of Corruption, right? Nurgle's the only faction other than Warriors of Chaos that can run this spell anyways. What they should totally do is just make it OP. I don't care, man. Like, at worst, you have 2 factions that are running Curse of the Leper, and it has counterplay. If it does infinite damage, I don't care. If you're good enough, you just don't attack the unit that has Curse of the Leper on it, right? it can do 10,000 damage and it's fine, right? You're still shooting Nurgle most of the time. It's still getting kited into oblivion. Just make this good. All right, and it's thematic. You're so stinky they die when they touch you. You know, it's great. Let's see here. Yo, Blight Boil. If they made it where you had to cast it on your unit, but it's instant, that would be sick. Your unit just explodes in Blight Boil. That would be hilarious. That'd be like bloated corpse action. Vangeist Revenge. Oh my gosh. You know what? Vangeist Revenge. Curse of the Leper should spread. That'd be cool too. But Vangeist Revenge. Make it shoot the entire map. All right, whatever. Make it shoot from one corner of the map to the other. All right, whatever. Like, just make it more cool, man. Because like, what I really like is high impact, high counterplay. A lot of these spells you can counterplay by disengaging anyways, so it really doesn't bother me that much if they just do like insane amounts of damage. So like I don't think you can ever make Curse of the Leper. I don't think you can make it like, you know, to the point where like I don't think it'll ever be stronger than Hellstrider's last patch. I think Hellstrider's last patch, people would rather have that unit than Curse of the Leper at infinite damage in multiplayer. Because Curse of the Leper you can play around. You can just not fight. But the Hellstriders, you can't choose. You can't choose to not fight them because of Rampage. Or even without the Rampage, they have infinite speed, right? Legitimately, yeah, I'm willing to hold by that. I'm willing to hold by that. Obviously, Curse of the Leper would be terrifying. It would be terrifying to engage, and it would probably win you every cav fight, but how long does it last? How long do you have to avoid the unit before it, let's see, there's some real theory crafting right now. Okay, it's 30 seconds, so that is a decent amount of time for you to just not be able to melee a unit, but you still probably kite it. Like, I think Wood Elves could probably still do okay. Redeem bicep curls? Dang it. Alright, I'll exercise. Veil of Shadows? Oh god, Veil of Shadows? Yo, I had a player take Veil of Shadows into me. I tore him apart, man. I tore him apart. You know what I did? You know what I did against the Veil of Shadows? I walked around it. Can you believe it? And the units that got hit by it, they waited for it to time out and then they killed him. God dang, Veil of Shadows, man. Where am I at? 8? Dude, the Veil of Shadows is so bad. Why not just have a normal vortex that does the damage? It's Veil of Shadows, but it does the damage. Nurgle needs some chops against Kite. Make the Nurgle Knights stronger and they'll be fine. Ooh. Alright. But yeah, the reason all the Chaos factions get kited right now is because the Knights suck. You know who doesn't get kited? Bretonia. I wonder what makes Bretonia unkiteable. I wonder why Elf factions fear Bretonia. Yeah, we just need them Knights, man. Charx and Abdel are still fighting. Oh, nope, they just finished. Hell yeah. Advancing the Swiss. At Goblins. Round 4. We're up against Grombrindle. Is he another dwarf? Is he another dwarf player today? Yo-yo. Hit him up with the yo-yo. Hit him up with my factions. As it stands, I am the one in the top bracket. He's dwarves. Which means I get to pick. I get to pick whatever I want. So he's playing it like an SFT. He's playing dwarves. We just saw Skaven into dwarves. So I'll go dark elves. I vote for a Grail Relic Doom stack. I'm not playing Betonia versus dwarves. Screw y'alls. Excuse me. All right. Also, yeah, Betonia also has some archers, but still. I think if you just give Chaos some better cavalry, they'll be in a much better position. Hey, Shot Glass, thank you very much for the Prime sub. It does help a lot. Pump it up, Tiger. Let's see here. Can you hide your artillery in Veil of Shadows? I think if they shoot, they reveal themselves. I think that's why I suggested that they also get sniped. At least I think so. Like, I haven't tested it out much, man. I have not. So today's map is going to be Rift at World's Edge. Interesting. Against the Dowie Tide. So Dark Elves. Like, I can play a mean Dark Elves, but that don't mean that I'm like God tier with them, right? Let's see here. So he's playing Dowie. I have a fun play. Let's see here. Where's that ability that I wanted? Yeah, here we go. Ooh, do I run this? Probably a bad idea. Probably a bad idea. Am I running this one though? You have a problem as Corn? Sorry, what's up? Poison? Dowie keep pulling the short straw going up against me. I used to main Dowie. Dowie was my first faction, so I know how to tear them apart. Although I am not a perfect player. I am not a perfect player. So it can be a little sus at times. This should be fine. Challenges start with Rakarth and Duo Hydra start. I'm not accepting that challenge. This guy's really good, man. Grombrindle is one of the OG dwarf players. He's like one of the best dwarf players in the community. And you want me to meme against him? Nah, that ain't good content. Let's see. So overall composition. I know these guys are good. I know these ones are also very good. Shades will counter all dwarves. Shades are good, though they do not counter bugmans actually. Bugmans are the de facto counter to shades because they regenerate, they have shields, and they're also stealth. So if I shoot with my shades and then he shoots with his bugmans, that's a recipe for disaster, son. It's a disaster. Oh yeah, the infantry I have to take today is slightly different from usual. Totally fine though, totally fine. Probably want some of these. Doomfire Warlocks don't have armor piercing, sadly. So that does make them a little bit sus. I think he's gonna run a Thunder Barge into me. A Thunder Barge would be insane. I don't think he's gonna run a Thunder Barge. It would be hilarious. As funny as it would be, probably not. But yeah, it seems like a, seems like a good enough build to me. Seems just dandy, really. So I take one of these. Anything else I need in this? Not much. Yeah. I guess I have me a build. Is this really the build though? Is this really the build? I don't know, man. I don't know. Maybe I'll switch this up just a tiny bit. Yeah. All right, this'll have to do. Anticity versus Dwarves. Do I still got it? 1 second. I didn't have time to eat yet today, so I'm just gonna settle for some cereal. I'll get some real food later, I promise. I'll get to, I'll be eating some rice and some pork. I'll be good. Yeah, gotta make some rice, and then I'll probably try making some videos today. I think I'll probably just cover, I might start covering like some multiplayer micro tips that are also applicable in campaign. This build, by the way, is sick. You guys are gonna love it. Will it work? Probably. Trust. Trust in the process, people. There we go. So here's the rough idea. I'm gonna shoot him to death. This will require a lot of micro if we're being rushed. He went gyrocopters. As far as I can tell, he's a dead man. I'm not even gonna capture the point, so I might be able to surprise his gyros. One lord, just a demon slayer. And he has some bugmans probably hiding out over there. The Medusa's gonna clutch it though. I have a feeling the Medusa's gonna clutch it. And I have Harpy summons if need be. I should be able to get a shot on these miners, and then while he's distracted, maybe kill these gyrocopters. One volley on them and they're dead. I think that would be amazing. Looks like he does spot the shades, however. Will he dodge it? Partial dodge. Partial dodge. Okay. Should be fine, though. Overall, the damage is good. I have a little bit of spell casting over here that can get some work done. His gyros can't really dive me. This is probably the worst build he could have ran up against. This is honestly a terrible, terrible situation for him. As the miners are essentially gone now. There you go. He's gonna get one volley off probably. But I think just the one, and that's not too terrifying. Ooh, pretty big volley, I must say. That's a pretty spooky volley. His gyros are low though. And then we just summoned one witch elf to start clearing up the infantry. That should be fine. Surprised these guys are still holding it though. That's terrifying. Harpies are in though. Medusa's going ham. I can hit them up with the magic. That should slow them. And then I should just be able to finish them off. One of the harpies gets its job done. A little bit of a blasting charge volley there, but his brothers of Grimnir are effectively dead now. That's good. Medusa is just gonna, I don't know, plonk away over here. I can start killing these guys. Not the best play I've ever done, but the Brotherhood of Grimnir just getting deleted off the face of the planet is definitely a pretty funny plus. I think he just brought the worst build possible into this. Oh, he made him unkillable. Oh, that's hilarious. Okay. So he made the Brotherhood of Grimnir unkillable, so there's still 32 models, but they're all at like no HP. Interesting. Okay. Well, a little half volley on them should just delete them. So they are now effectively dead, and then I can use my sick melee units to take out the rest. There we go. He has his lord here. That's a great time for Arcanite Assassin to get some work in. My lord's doing fine. She can get a little spell there. Hell yeah. And now it's just recapturing points. So actually retaking points will be a little bit of a journey. But like, look, let's be real. He had the worst build ever into us, right? Oh, dang. The Witch Elves, though, kind of getting massacred. Surprise, surprise. Some Rangers over there. All right, that's a pretty good trade for him. Although I do have some cavalry summons I can bring on in soon. Cavalry's definitely the way to go for that situation. Very nice. I'm getting a call. Custom. Okay. Get rid of that. Getting DDoSed mid-battle. Let's see here. You know, another assassin's actually perfect for that lord. So you just kill him, right? Now, I'm not too worried about tickets. Because the moment I start winning on the value trade, dwarves are really bad at stuffing you up. I really just need the slight... lead. Can I snipe his lord? A lord snipe would definitely be great. Do I have okay, I have another one of these. He did get a bomb drop off with his gyros. Like, he's playing well. Can he close it out though, is the big question. There's the passive. Passive is good. So a lot of my units will be able to stay in the fight. Yeah, the big question now is just do we have enough to take the points? I think we do. I think we do. With the middle point getting taken now, and the Medusa at such high HP, a lot of his range units getting collapsed in on now. A lot of his rangers. Got a slow on them over there. Didn't even need my little booster. We got our first capture point before the 1,000 mark. That's also a big win. Yeah, there we go. And the double K-Knight Assassin is just too sick, right? Double K-Knight Assassin for the win. Eh. Those units on the far end kind of cooking. Remember, the gyrocopters are still being a menace. I only bought so many harpies. So that part's kind of making it a little bit rough for me. I still think we are in a solid advantage, but I gotta take this point as soon as possible. Did we kill his lord? I think the K-Knight Assassins definitely killed his lord. Their range attack is kind of sick. And since I don't have to worry about their HP, I might as well use them for magic. There's the second capture. Harpies for the gyrocopters. And yeah, the shades. Turns out shades are good versus dwarves. As predicted, they are kind of a menace here. They did real good, man. There we go. They're like all alive too. So they can just move on in, capture that point. And I should have enough range units to kill off the rest of the gyrocopters. We did get a cav charge on that insane bolt thrower unit. Still can't believe that the bolt thrower has that many entities. It is kind of silly looking. All right, and now I have all the time in the world to take this point. Value trading wise, we're definitely in the lead. If the game isn't tracking range damage properly, we're even more in the lead, because most of my damage was indeed ranged. Another Power of Darkness to get more magic. The shades target these guys. By the way, the ROR Bolt Fiends, they have extra range. That's why we took them. They're very good for that. Get them, Witch Elves. Beat them up. Shades doing fairly good work over here. And then Sisters of Slaughter cleanup crew should be more than enough. I suspect he will definitely change his build though. After getting max shaded, I feel like the odds of him changing his build are rather high. I doubt he's gonna run the same thing. And that's the scariest part about dwarves. They have many, many threatening builds indeed. Though in this case, we did just get a hard counter. Let's see. So he's going hard on the middle. He's still scrapping it out. I can't go easy on him. De-summon these guys in case some more gyrocopters come up. Let's see here. Double Assassin can hold down that point into infinity. That's not a big deal. Long enough for my shades to clean up shop here, I think. That should be a fairly nice AoE cast. There's a Longbeard, so they are ITP. But they're still not immune to just getting murdered. I should be fine. How much time do I have? Oh, I got loads of time, man. Definitely, though, I should make sure I have more harpies. For the future. No blasting charges, though, is a blessing. Yeah, and once everything else is dead, the harpies can just go ham. Yeah, he has a bolt thrower here, but, like, what's it really going to do, right? Dodge him, assassin. Dodge the blasting charges. Oh, he's a god. That's some sick assassination plays. The jukes, man. The jukes. They do a lot of damage, the blasting charges, if you don't dodge them. You can see even a quarter ammunition blasting charge is kind of scary for him. You do have to be a little bit careful. Thankfully, elves are rather fast, so it's not too much of a deal. And that means that he is now basically tabled. Hell yeah, we did it. Yeah, now we have a lot of cheeses. They have a lot of cheeses. You got to be wary of each and every single one of them. Otherwise, issues abound. What the? Are they really going to get a blasting charge off? Oh, they routed. Get wrecked. All right. Shades are pretty good at fighting too, right? 33, 39. Yeah, they can fight minors. Yo, him bringing the Brotherhood of Grimnir, though, only for them to get obliterated by 4 shades was hilarious. That was probably the biggest value play ever. Yeah, I feel like the elves could be closer to Slanesh speed. I feel like that would be a lot more interesting. All right, he should be super dead at this point, though. I still have a little bit of ammunition left, so his Grim Delvers can't kill it. It can't kill my dudes. I still have lots of range too. The assassins are great. I'm gonna eat some cereal before it gets soggy. I'm sorry if it's BM, but we are triple cap. Like, it should be over, all right? This should be insanely over. This has to be super over, right? Like, I don't care how good the Brotherhood of Grimnir are. Like, I can probably just stuff them up for the rest of the battle, right? Like, this is. I got 16 units to 7, right? Let me eat my cereal, mate. Mm-hmm. I didn't get to eat breakfast yet, okay? Cut me some slack. I also went on a double cap. So even if he does capture this point, it doesn't matter that much. He's still scrapping it though. All right, here we go. Let's get some Dark Riders if we capture this. How's the value equal here? So the game, as far as I can tell, and I don't think it's been fixed, it slightly undervalues ranged attacks and especially skirmishing attacks. So if you have a whack load of skirmishers, right, and you get like 10,000 value on them, the game will probably only report 5,000 of that gold value. And because of that, when you go a kite build, it's going to say the value is close when really it is absolutely not close. I've already asked CA to change it to just show the gold on battlefield instead of gold damage value. This is not a free-for-all. I can almost guarantee this was copied from free-for-alls, by the way. Because I think free-for-alls have the same issue. It's kind of just an assumption, though, but... regardless, just having gold on battlefield is a way more accurate representation of who's ahead. They should just do that. It absolutely doesn't... Like, this is way too janky. Like, if you just look, right, 17 units to 6 units. These are chaff, right? They're rangers. Right? My cav is at, like, full HP. Neither side has any healing. You know, something's just broken. Anyways, there's the capture. I'll get some Sisters of Slaughter just to really make sure we don't die. But I think it's super done for here. He might be, like, just grinding it out to, like, I don't know. Just do some unit testing or something, or who knows what. It doesn't really matter that much. Like, it's not BM to stay in the game because the tournament rounds tend to take a long time anyways, so. I thought it just calculates your gold per damage taken. Nope. Share your cereal build, please. It's just some no-name brand sugary cereal. There's absolutely nothing special about it. It's true. He is ahead in value, you know? Supposedly he is ahead in value. So, you know, really he should be ahead, right? You know, like, according to the game, this was very close. I think it has something to do with if you shoot and start moving. I think that's what it is. I think the game doesn't track the damage value if your skirmishers are moving. That might be it. That could explain that could explain all of the weirdness. Dang, eyes are dry again. You think it'd be hidden info? Yeah. Well, like, you know, when you don't have army losses, right? That's kind of a good metric to see if you're behind or not. It's interesting, you know, it's interesting data. You could test with Shadow Warriors or something similar. I need to, like, make a free-for-all, right? I guess I do have Entbot, but... Is cereal high in protein? No. Anyways, yeah, his gyrocopters got a lot of value, but... I think everything else struggled a bit. He got a lot of value on his range guys, but like my shades all got way too much. Like the value on his units was good. Mine was amazing. You know, his rangers did pretty good. I feel like if he had Bugmans, he could have contested a lot better. I personally really like Bugmans, but on such a big, you know, domination map, Bugmans, you know, it's hard to position them in a place where they will do well, because you don't know where the shades are. Ain't got no idea. But yeah, no, the damage dealt tracker, something's really bugged with it. Yeah, spell damage too. Yeah, I'm all for just counting the value on the battlefield. It takes into account healing and the likes. Is good. The Medusa, I think it eventually got sniped, but it still got 1600. Dang, 4-0. Look at us go. I need some worse factions. I have been getting some pretty choice counter picks though, right? Skaven versus Dwarves, Dark Elves versus Dwarves. I have, no, the early Skaven versus Lizardmen was also really good. Yeah. All right. That shall sustain me for the rest of the stream. What was the other matchup I played? Son of Heaven. Yeah, High Elves versus Nurgle's a great matchup. Like, honestly, the lineup's kind of good for counterpicking. High Elves, Greenskins, Skaven, Dark Elves, and Grand Cathay. All of them are really good counterpick factions. Like, High Elves have amazing kite. Greenskins have really good rush. Skaven is really good versus slower factions. Dark Elves. Dark Elves is the most middle of the road. Grand Cathay definitely has some good matchups too. Gotta take up that Blood Speaker challenge. At some point I'll play Khorne. I really don't like corn though. You think I could win if I use a randomized army? Depends on who we're playing against. Take a look at this random army gen for Beastmen. The biggest loss is probably on the Lord. I lose like 1,800. Most matchups, I would say, are favored at about 1,000 gold at the absolute worst. So if I was allowed to play, let's say, I don't know, Wood Elves versus Tomb Kings, right? If we're both playing optimally, this is usually a bad matchup for Wood Elves, but I have one extra Weight Watcher. God, that's so powerful. Randomized armies will typically, yeah, you see this business? Oh God, all the abilities, CA, please no. Yeah, this is basically, I'm down, you know, these guys are half effective, right? Because they have so much jank. So I'm basically playing about 1,500 gold behind. I would need to run into an opponent that doesn't know what they're doing. Though most of the rest of the units are like, you know, they're fine, right? Slight suboptimals across the board. Not too many chevrons is fine. What, you could randomize Kislev maybe? So, oh God, okay. I think the only way to do this is with Khorne. Because Khorne doesn't have that many abilities. Which makes it not as bad. He still has a lot though. Which faction has the fewest abilities on their Lord? That's the only time randomizer would actually work. Wait, if I randomize with Empire, does it give... Oh God, a fully loaded out Gelt? He should cost 350. Okay, yeah. So I basically would have to randomize with Khorne. Okay, this one's good. This one's... Oh God, they gave me 2 skull cannons. Okay, so let's see here. Okay, Blood Throne Skull Taker, fully kitted out, is not as much of a loss as other factions because it's not taking 6 spells, man. Oh God. Norska. Yeah, I would take too many spells on the caster. Anyways, this is okay. Is there a reason it always gives me the ROR Hellcannon? Can you not give me Hell Cannons for once? God dang, there's something about the randomizer that's like, yo, you gotta have artillery, man. You gotta get that artillery in there. Okay, nice. This is better. So, if I was able to spam the randomize, I can randomize until I have 2 artillery here in my reserves, and then that way I can randomize the top portion until I get like just Valkyria probably. Can you stop giving me heroes that cost 2,000? Actually, Arbol was not bad there. Let's see here. Okay, this is not. No mount. 1,700 Foot Lord. Okay, you know what? Ah, crap. Give me the Blood Reaper. God, where's Valkyria, man? Red Olgor? No, I'd be far too behind to beat a competitive player. Okay, this is okay. So Tormentor's Sword, Banner of Hellfire. So he's a decked out Herald of Khorne. God dang, a Soul Grinder though? Yeah, Khorne's roster has too much jank. No, there's no way. Ain't no way, man. Oh crap, did the thing finish? All right. Who made it to the top 4? The top 4 is made out of me, Attack Speed Enjoyer, Grombrindle, and it's a tie between Oishi and Son of Heaven, who both lost to me. You guys are playing tiebreaker. Lobby code and spec slot, please. It's time. we'll go. Banner of Hellfire. Ain't that bad. Banner of Hellfire is a, what, 5 to 10 Mortis? What's the actual Mortis engine? So that's 5 to 10. That's, let's see here. 5 to 10 versus 16 to 32. It's 1/3 the damage of a Mortis engine. That's pretty bad. It's 1/3 of a Mortis engine. Mortis even doesn't do that much damage. It's fine though. It's definitely fine. Tormentor Sword's pretty good. The rest of it's okay. You know, Blood Throne's fine though. It's all okay. Wait, it's a 3-way tiebreaker? Oh god, management. You have round 1, B6 2 wins. How many wins does Oishi have? So Oishi has 1 loss. Oh god, management. Okay, so he's tied with Oishi and Son of Heaven. Because Oishi... Wait, how? How though? Let's see here. He has B6, Oishi... Okay, so Oishi, he lost round 1, but his opponent forfeited, so Oishi shouldn't be there. So then it's Tim the Wilder. Oh my gosh. Well, his opponent still forfeited, which is still a win. God, the jank. Okay, okay. So... Total Tavern's just janky, man. Let's see here. So Tim the Wilder. Tim the Wilder, one of his opponents dropped out. Alright. For simplicity's sake, I'm going to... Let's see here. So Oishi's there. Just stick with total tavern results. I know opponents dropping can cause a lot of suckiness because you lose points. For now though, since I don't know the internal workings, I'll just move on with the tourney with at Oishi and at Son of Heaven. Tiebreaker unless all 3 players involved. So at Tim the Wilder can come to an agreement. All right, I'll forward any complaints to Turin. All right, there you go. That's how we're adminning it. It is a very low stakes tournament, so I'm just gonna follow Total Tavern. All right, and then we can hopefully get to a game sometime soon. Can you play ogres? I'm okay with ogres, but my 5 factions are not that, unfortunately. All right, but yeah, these guys they gotta play. They gotta play. I could always do a top 8 tournament, but it's a lot more to manage if I just bring in the top 8, and I don't have the energy for a super long stream. But we'll see if they we'll see how it goes. But yeah, I think basically what happened was Own Goal or Tim the Wilder had 1 less opponent point because his opponent dropped out of the tournament in the 3rd round, and then it kind of screwed him. But like, I don't know how that would have affected the tiebreakers. All right. We need to stretch and hydrate. Thank you. Yeah, I really hope we can get a Total Tavern update at some point. It happens though. Okay, the players agree that they want to do dice. So be it. Dice is totally fine with me. All right. Okay, so that's fine. We got some sportsmanship between the players. Fine by me. Whoa, this thing's getting real glitchy. All right, so max 3. So if I generate this, oh whoops, 1, 1, 2. Can it generate 3? Okay, it is inclusive. All right. So number 1 is Son of Heaven. Number 2 is Oishi. Number 3 is Own Goal. Oh, okay, there's no crap. Go back. Okay, whatever. 1 is Son of Heaven. 2 is Oishi. 3 is Own Goal. Here we go. And 3. All right. Oh, it's clipping too. Oh my gosh, this is the jankiest setup I've ever made. Whatever, it's 3. It's 3. So that means Tim the Wilder is making it. He's making it. We got the rollies. Oh man, that's rough though. That's pretty rough. It sucks to it always sucks not making it because of these type of shenanigans, but you know, in the end people have to sleep. At least the players came to an agreement. So, you know, it's totally fine. Kind of anticlimactic, but such is life. That's what they get for not winning though, you know. I'm just saying it's kind of a skill issue if you really think about it. Oh man, no, anyways, all of them are really good players. I would have wanted to see all of them in the finals, but such is life. So we're gonna have to go here. We're gonna have to replace Oishi with own goal, and then we are ready to go. Ones and twos in shambles. All right, so Tim the Wilder. Alrighty. Great success. Everything continues to run smoothly. Alright, Grombrindle says no more elves. Let's see here. If I don't play elves though, then I have to beat them with what? Skaven? I feel like I gotta go high elves. So I'm gonna play high elves. And then it's going to be attack speed enjoyer versus Tim the Wilder. Very exciting. Is Khorne one of your worst factions? I don't know. I don't know how I feel about Khorne. I haven't played them a lot, but they're pretty straightforward. I've always just kind of assumed that I do fine as Khorne, but I'm willing to be surprised. I've played them so little, I would not take them in a high stakes tournament setting. All right. Here we go. And there's the code. Classic Warhammer dispute solver, just roll. It is how battles and kings are made. Alrighty. So, Banner of Hellfire lasts 17 seconds. What? It's an activated ability? Oh, God. So you're telling me if you get the full duration of this, you're getting yourself a little under 6 seconds of Mortis Engine? Oh, God. Oh, Lordy. What do you mean? It has a cooldown of 2 minutes? Holy crap. How many of these would you need to consistently use it? Oh, God. Oh, jeez. No wonder we never see it. I was like, oh, you know, that's actually not bad. And then my eyes were opened. Oh, no. Have you ever thought of actually playing tabletop at all? I did when I was a kid. Way too expensive of a hobby. Way too expensive, sadly. It's still worse than the +7 armor Warriors of Chaos generic Lord item. That's an item. And it only recharges if you're in melee. That's true. So you have to stay in melee. None of this kite shenaniganry. Oh boy, that's a doozy. That right there is a big doozy. Well, anyways, we find ourselves against the Dowie. Now, gyrocopters are spooky, but they ain't that spooky. I can totally tear up some gyrocopters with a good elf build. I got the shenanigans. We'll be fine. Let's see here. So, what's the play? Ooh, yeah. Ooh, I gotta do this. This one's a classic. Ooh, this one's a classic. Oh, you guys are gonna love this build. Or I'm gonna get wrecked. One or the other. We'll see. One or the other. But this should be a pretty good build. It should be a fairly good build. There you go. And then what? And then what? With Sisters of Avalorn, trade well into gyros. Kind of expensive for the job. Even more expensive than Gisele's. That's a bad sign. A very bad sign. Did you read the Banner of Hellfire? I did. It sucks. Anyone know if War Lions are good here? Just normal War Lions. Not the White Lions. Like, obviously White Lions are good here. You can't really go wrong with those guys. War Lions, on the other hand. Lion Chariots, mayhaps. Yeah, they got 30% missile resist. Just don't get slayered by them, right? Just don't get sloon. And then you'll be fine. Let's see here. So I have an okay build. The big question is, what if he goes full Air Force? Can I defeat a full Air Force Dowie? The answer is probably most likely. This one's a pretty good option too. Yes, this is a classic build. It's been a long time since I played this, and High Elves vs Dwarves is always a little bit on the more sus side. This is the Inticity vs Dwarves stream, I guess. Yeah, I'm surprised I made it so far though. Grombrindle rolling up with the Dowie. So if I was Dwarves and I knew I was facing High Elves, what would I do? What would I do even? Like maybe 1,000,000 guns? Maybe like a absurd amount of guns. Just like ludicrous pew pew. And then somehow, some way, victory. Maybe a lot of slayers. Slayers could be an annoying issue. Like, he could just have a truly ludicrous number of guns. It's not impossible. You know what? Is this worth? God, it has no HP. Everything has no HP, man. This whole roster has no HP. What are they supposed to do? You know what? This is kind of jokes, though. On Jade Tomb. Yeah, sure, why not? I'm sure it'll be fine. This map's kind of good for dwarves, though. It's very laney. It's kind of like a dwarven underway with the forest on the side. So it's a lot harder to get flanks, and it's a lot harder to sneak capture points. I'm just gonna have to uptrade, really. If I am unable to uptrade, we die. Real badly, too. All that. Isn't High Elves versus Dwarves a bad matchup? It used to be good for High Elves. I don't know in Domination, though. That's what we're learning. That's what we're learning today. Dowie. He's playing as that tiny sub-faction of Dowie. So I brought a very typical high elf build. It does not get more average than this, but you gotta start somewhere. It's starting with the plain old meta. Should be fun. This is going to entirely depend on how good my micro is with my single entities. Ready? Good luck, have fun. The idea is noble chariots are sick against dwarves. Anti-infantry up the wazoo, 15% missile resist, 10% missile resist aura, and a L'Oreal with healing and tempest. And she also has a shield stone of Itza, so I can get up to 35% resistance to Dowie shooting with this. That's pretty good. I got sword masters, I got cavalry, I got more chariots, some war lions to test out, see if they're good. Flamespire phoenixes in case I really run into a lot of air units. This is only if Alariel can't handle it, like a full, you know, Alariel alone can't deal with a full gyrocopter build. But the Phoenix, she can do much better. So, yeah. Troll hammers for days. He has some bolt throwers, some slayers. He has a lord with perfect vigor. So he's just a fighty lord. Doesn't want to get snibbeted sniped by assassins this time. And then, yeah, okay. Overall, nothing too crazy. He is lacking pretty severely on the blasting charges, which is almost begging me to take the Sword Masters of Hoarth. No one uses the forest wide flank. Yeah, you gotta capture the points, right? So no blasting charges is probably the weirdest thing about his build. I am most definitely taking Sword Masters because the one and true counter really is just the shenanigans. It's the typical killing of blasting charges. But without them, things are gonna get a little spicy. Now, how scary are these troll hammers? Yeah, okay, so they're getting a couple volleys off. If I dodge though, and I make use of that sick resistancing, I can cast an ability, which will give them even more ward save and physical resist, or ward save anyways. That should be fairly nice. There's a big charge in. And then I just gotta path my way through into these troll hammers. The entire game hinges on how well I can manage that. If we cannot manage it well, life is gonna suck. That's one troll hammer shut down. Very nice. Sword masters are coming on in. I got my lions. Lions are pretty sick. His slayers, kind of bumbling around so far, right? They're kind of just bumbling. So if I can just kind of distract them while my front line cleaves up his infantry, I should be in a pretty good position. Like all my infantry here, generally speaking, they trade quite well into a lot of his units. He does summon in the gyrocopter though. That's an interesting choice. So Alariel's probably gonna have to manage that. We're gonna hit him with the Tempest because he's about to bomb drop my dudes. And that would suck. That would suck real bad. I think if, as long as they're in melee though, they aren't able to bomb drop. Let's pull back the boys. Slayers are kind of painful, but I got heals. So that's going okay. Nobles are just gonna, yeah, pack up. Head to safety. Alariel, you did good. Alright. And now I got my war lions in here. Alariel's doing great. War lions are doing fine. I have a heal. And if we can just kill these guys, are fine. He does get a solid bomb dropping though. My sword masters unfortunately are not really finding any targets. Kind of just idled with them. Little bit of a misplay there. Well, you know, the war lions are doing fine. How my nobles doing? Not that fine. Little Slayer dude over there, causing me a lot of grief. The lions too. They just kind of die. Not the prettiest of engagements I've ever seen. Can I get rear charge on these dwarf warriors? A win in the front line would be amazing. But it looks a little few and far between. L'Ariel at least is doing goodies. And another heal for the nobles is great. Catching the Slayers with Sword Masters is Value City, which we love. And unfortunately, no route just yet. My War Lions do come back though. That's a solid. And his Iron Drakes are finally completely shut down. So I shouldn't have to worry about them anymore. And now the Age of the Noble has begun. The Age of the Noble, where they can just romp around, have a good time, value trade for days, and then we win the game. Without his troll hammers, he's got basically nothing on me. Noble's got to play it real safe though. One catch and they're dead. He's even target firing them. Thank goodness for that missile resist. Sword Masters are doing okay. They're doing fine. L'Ariel's chasing off the gyrocopters. Okay. It's going fine enough. You know, there's nothing too crazy going on. I just have to shoot up these here Slayers. Then I should be okay. Sword Masters are still cleaving the way through. They're doing pretty good. I got my Cav in this back line. God, those Slayers though. Terrifying forces of nature. Definitely want more Cav. Disruption's the name of the game. L'Ariel is done chasing off them gyros. She needs to come back to heal up these guys. And I might even be able to heal the White Lions too at the same time. That would be the best case scenario. Oh yeah, give me that heal. So now my White Lions are getting an Omega healed, man. They're getting Omega healed. So that's a huge value trade for me. There's a little bit of flamethrower coming on in, but you can see just how shut down most of these guys are. There we go. There's another big heal. And the nobles are back in action, except for the Grimdelvers. Good God, the Grimdelvers. Okay, stay away from the Grimdelvers. Backing it up from there, and now we're set. Now we're totally set. Grimdelvers are shut down, and then the nobles can go and pile in on them. How's L'Ariel doing? She's doing fine enough. I have a couple War Lions here. Value trading wise, it's a little sus, but I do have healing for days. I have a whack load of healing, so he should be in some trouble. He's gonna try and get the bomb drop off. Pull back with the Cav. It's a little awkward. Sometimes they can't get the bomb drop if they're in melee. In this case, they do though. Oh, Lion Chariots. That's perfect. He doesn't have anything for those. There we go. All right. Despite the bomb drop, it was fairly manageable. And now the end is nigh. Now my opponent is going to be having a tough time. As long as we don't run out of tickets. He has had a double cap for a really long time. But I think we just outvalued him, right? The gyrocopters in the end, they don't capture anything. So I doubt he'll be able to actually hold points for any meaningful amount of time. You know, I got my Cav in here going ham on his gyrocopters. The double noble is insane. They're just value city, and despite the technical value lead, I don't think he's gonna do it. He has a couple Doom Seekers. Sword Masters can get desummoned. They're not too useful right now. Thank goodness for L'Ariel and Tempest, I must say. Lion Chariots can start capturing over there. Oh my gosh! All right. A terrifying match to be sure, but he's just out of units, man. That L'Ariel's healing is insane. It is absolutely insane. It will make up any value deficit you have. Because yeah, Star of Avalorn, man, on these White Lions. That's how they held up for so long. Just straight up Star of Avalorn business. Okay, can you guys shoot these guys? That would be great. Also, the cavalry was pretty hyped too, I must say. Usually I write off Silver Helms, but ever since Charix made a lot of work with them, I've kind of been liking silver helms a lot recently. They seem a lot better than one might initially expect. I don't know what it is about silver helms either. They just kind of... I think it's very similar to Empire Knights, you know? They're just a solid cav unit. Maybe a little expensive, maybe a little squishy because they're elves, but they're still solid cavalry. His lord now should be getting bullied by the double noble. And yeah, he has nothing left. Another dwarven victory. And by dwarven victory, I mean the dwarves are dead. I won against the dwarves. Some cav charges against slayers, by the way, is the way to go. You hit them with the cavalry and you're fine. This war lion can go here while the nobles kill his lord. There's a lot of single entities, but who cares? Quick maths. He needs 650 to win. 650 times 2 is more than enough for me to win. So we should have a solid victory here. There go his miners. They're just dead. The white lions are back. Lions for days. Oh, dang. Those slayers are kind of fast, though. Gonna need a cycle charge him. I did manage to keep his lord away from everything for a while, though. Whoop. Oh, we lost a couple lions there. A couple good kitty cats got massacred. But yeah, we win on a single cap. So I just gotta not down trade like a mad lad and we're fine. You can see these poor slayers getting bullied. They can only target so many units. I'm just gonna group up for a little bit of a big heal here, and then I should be fine. We can probably kill off his lord and all that shenanigans. There you go. Everybody get buddy. You have some healing that needs to go down. And then a L'Ariel. So the reason this is so good is because... Come on. Yeah, you get the 10% ward save from casting, and the physical resist from a L'Ariel, and the 25% missile resist. So it makes your infantry super powerful. It makes your single entity super powerful. L'Ariels and dwarves don't have a lot of magic attacks. So the physical resist is just almost always at 100% value. It's a good time indeed. Now he is starting to reconsolidate, but it should still be pretty over. Yeah, we're his Dowie abuse for sure. Alright, yeah, he's just consolidating. I want to take a bad fight, right? I might as well just farm his lord while we're here. He has a couple more slayers coming on in. As long as I have some infantry, I'm okay though. Let's just desummon the archers. I think that should be fine. Maybe get a surround on these slayers. It's a lot of slayers. It's a lot of slayers. And I actually got a charge off too. Kind of spooky. Kind of spooky. As long as his blasting charges are dead though, I'm totally fine. His lord's almost gone. That anti-infantry again working. There you go. Fairly nice charge over there. You know what? White lions. Charge to your deaths. There's 7 of them, but they shall hold. See this slayer charge? Distracting him from the point. That's what we want. The nobles have finished their goal. He's running. He's running with the dwarf warriors. These white lions are too spooky. Yeah, shock damage. Shock damage is the way to kill slayers. Now, I don't think he has anything to stop these guys, right? Oh, I guess I have chariots here too. I'll chase off his lord with this. The slayers are getting bullied. Can I actually kill his lord though? I have no idea. Maybe we bring in another noble. He's certainly scrapping very hard. There's another heal. It'll give me some ward save and all that, which is fairly pleasant. Archers need to stop scooting forwards. Otherwise, these slayers will just kill them. But there's really nothing dwarves can do versus such hatred. Such chariot hatred. It is the solution to all things Dowie. As long as they don't get shot to bits. That's why I spent so many resources killing his trollhammer torpedoes. Because if you don't, They're gonna troll hammer all of these guys to death, and then you're gonna be sad. Oh, there's the crazy bolt thrower is back. Okay. Does it matter though? I don't think so. I don't think the bolt thrower is gonna. I don't think that's gonna end me here. Okay, a couple of war lions to secure this, and I should be fine. Let's not get overconfident though. We don't win on 1 point just yet. I think it's fairly close. We're about to. There's another heal. He got a couple of routes, however. The thing is, once his lord routes off the battlefield, minus 16 leadership is no joke. Which means all his miners are going to chain route now. As they were already fairly low on that end. White lions are doing good over there. And yeah, let the chain routes begin. So when one unit routes, there's a penalty here, right? Let's see here. Okay, it was not showing any penalties. Am I wrong? I could have sworn that, no, definitely. Come on, where was it at? Friends routing. Yeah, I think it's 3 leadership per allied unit that's routing. There we go. I think it's 3 leadership per allied unit that's routing. So it's all goodies. So if one unit routes, you can get a bunch of routes at the same time. Alariel did in fact maximize her healing. I bet Grombrindle's getting Warhammer 2 flashbacks with this game. Hella Warhammer 2 flashbacks. This is exactly how you would play dwarves against dwarves before. And the only thing they could do was gyrocopter spam and try and kill Alariel. But because in domination you have freedom to summon in units as needed, it's I think it gets way worse for dwarves. I think it gets like atrociously bad for the Dowie. Yeah, this is a big old lion build. We had a lot of lions. I think I brought every single lion unit. Achievement unlocked. And we have a value lead despite the healing. Amazing. Yeah, Grombrindle. His name's literally Grombrindle. He's been fighting elves since the beginning of time. Just like the in-game version. I will say his Trollhammer Micro is really good. Despite me jumping them with my cav, he was still able to get some shots off. It could have gone really badly if I wasn't stacking so many resistances. But we win. We win. High elf counterpick for the win. So that's our 3rd game against dwarves. We won with high elves, we won with Skaven, and we won with dark elves. I'm a dwarf annihilator. I love how I managed to get every single good matchup into Dowie. Like those 3 factions are the 3 classic anti-dwarf factions. His troll hammers did not pay for themselves, -1. Bolt thrower got a little bit of value, but it doesn't matter as long as the nobles are alive. As long as they live, they're good. Archers versus slayers, it turns out. Very high value play. How did my melee do? You know, the white lions paid for themselves against Dowie. Enters in the book now. Dude, I've been in the book ever since I stopped playing Dowie. Hey, Bubba's Big Blast. Thank you for the Prime sub. It does actually help a lot. Redeem 15 bicep curls. God. All right, yeah, I gotta play Cathay now. Oh boy, all right. So I'll get my bicep curls in. We're waiting for Attack Speed Enjoyer and Tim the Wilder. They gotta finish up, and then the grand finals. And then the grand finals begins. Yo, for playing as factions I'm not really used to, the counter picking is so nice. I will say, getting that kite game against Nurgle was some really good kite practice. Even against Nurgle Chaos Knights, I was able to keep my kite alive, which is usually I screw that up and then we die. Yeah, I gotta whip out the other 5 worst factions tomorrow. I have to whip out, I have to play dwarves, right? It's the only way. So I'll play Dwarves, Chaos Dwarves, Nurgle, Vampire Counts, and Vampire Coast. Those factions, a lot of them are pretty decent, but they have really different play styles from how I play. So for me, myself, I'm not the best at them. 3, 4, 5. Okay. You need heavier dumbbells? I know. I've been dumbbell shopping, don't worry. It's just enough to stop me from being sedentary. Oh god, we have our opponent. No, that's just a wonderful dwarf player. I'll just host another lobby then. I'll just host another lobby. Come on, 6-0. Give me that 6-0. What's the map? The map is Itza. Hey. I'm up against Tim the Wilder, also known as Own Goal. We're playing on Itza. He's top bracket. So let's see. He has Beastmen, Slanesh, Warriors of Chaos, Vampire Counts, Demons of Chaos. Whoo! Okay, that's a nasty lineup. That's a nasty lineup. That's disgusting. Beastmen, Slanesh, Warriors of Chaos, Vampire Counts, Demons of Chaos for the counter pick. Meanwhile, I'm rocking High Elves, Greenskins, Skaven, Dark Elves, Grand Cathay. Which player has the factions that you've seen more in tournaments recently? Oh god! Is that new Corrin? Valkia? Yeah, Valkia. She's pretty good. I'd say she's like a solid A+ tier. People use her, but not all the time. Are Heartseekers allowed? Yep. Heartseekers are allowed. So he is picking. He's picking his faction, and then I have to bring 3 counter picks. Gonna be a rough one. Oh, he came here to win. I came here to win too. You just wait and see. I'm gonna Charix his face. Give me my High Elves into Demons of Chaos. He's picked Slanesh. Little does he know, I have a 100% win rate against Slanesh. Alright. So here's the thing. He gets to pick Slanesh without me disrupting him in the slightest. But I get to bring 3 counter picks into Slanesh. And we got some goods, I think. Definitely not Greenskins or Skaven. Oh god, High Elves, Dark Elves, Grand Cathay. Oh, we're dead. Oh, we're dead. Just channel your inner Karav there. High Elves, Greens. Okay, so I have to pick High Elves because Skaven is a death sentence. Wait, no, don't I have Pavane banned? That doesn't change anything, but I just want to know. Seekers are banned. Pavane is banned. Okay. I'll go. No Pavane, eh? No Pavane Slanesh. Is there a greenskin build that can fight Slanesh? I assume it's just going to be Master Arts. You know, maybe there is a greenskin build that can beat Slanesh. Am I crazy? Can you pull off an Empire Mantide with greenskins against them? You know what? High Elves, Greenskins, and Dark Elves is Suicide. He doesn't have Pavane though, but I don't think they're kite strong enough. So Dark Elves, like, what do I have, right? I gotta contest his cavalry. I guess I have fairly good magic. Grand Cathay. I gotta get the Grand Cathay, but like, you know what? Grand Cathay. High Elves, Greenskins, and Grand Cathay. So no Skaven or Dark Elves. Greenskin morale is horrid. We'll see. Doomfire Warlocks, I guess. Absolutely not. He wants to play High Elves. Oh god, out of all the ones, this is the one I have the least shenanigans for. All right. You vote Sigvald? I'm not the one playing Slaanesh. You gonna contest the air? Well, I can win the air, but I don't really get anything for it. Slaanesh. So here's the problem, right? Mantide is good into Slaanesh. Elves can't pull a Mantide because their spearmen are basically Empire spears, but they cost like 100 more than they should. So they're pretty bad. High Elf spearmen. How does Silver Helms do versus Hellstriders, I wonder? I think they do decently. No Pavane is probably my big out. Not having Pavane puts in a very, very sus situation. Let's see here. I'm gonna need to be able to kill Furies, that's for sure. What's my main anti-Fury? Tyrion time? Like, no Pavane does actually make this a lot better. Pavane means that Slaanesh has a lot more counters. It's not too bad. Magic-wise, though, so, like, I could put a Lord in the air and they'll never get caught. Tyrion versus Nakari, lore-wise, you win that one. Oh, okay, sick. Oh, amazing. That's exactly what I needed then. Let's see here. I could bring some nets. I can net them down. What else do I have? I can do this. Kind of boring, but I can. God, everything's overcosted on this roster. What is this, corn? Everything, everything's overcosted. I'm just seeing units that I know are cheaper on other rosters. Pavane versus Dwarves. What about Pavane versus Dwarves? Let's see here. But yeah, the big thing is like Furies, right? Furies are annoying to the max. I have a handful of options that are pretty decent against them, though. Phoenix Guard bully here, surely. Technically, Phoenix Guard... The thing is, I think they die to a normal front line. Like, they just don't fight very well. Though, I guess if he sends his cavalry into them, it's not too bad. Okay, yeah, this is a, you know, I guess I could do this. So, what if I take a bunch of these, have a bunch of those? He's already ready. It's terrifying. But here's the thing. Without Pavane, anything is possible. Just love seeing elite infantry. They're so cool, but yeah, a little off meta. Let's see here. The map's not very big for me. Just kind of sus. What's he gonna bring? He's just gonna bring Armor Tide. It's like an Armor Tide absolutely can just run me over. We must be careful. Super heavy on the armor, and then he just romps over everything. Everything. Okay, I'm definitely doing this. Give me that. And then give me this. Okay, I have a build that may seem crazy. It may seem ludicrous on the outside, but I assure you this one is okay. Let's see here. Do White Lions beat Chaos Warriors of Slaanesh? Is that a is that a good fight for them? Something tells me it's terrible. At least they ain't no Pavane. He's ready. Oh god. Okay, you know what? I'll take a handful of those and a couple of these. I need like a finisher unit though. Like I need something that actually do something. Why does none of this do anything? What the crap? You know what? 2 of these. Okay, I got the ludicrous plays, guys. I have the absolute most ludicrous plays you've ever seen in your life, okay? And I guarantee you this wins it for us. Slaanesh ain't got nothing for this. All right, they got nothing. He's a dead man. Reminding him that Pavane is also not allowed. 4 Eagle Claw attack. They would die so fast. Holy crap. Yes, Lizardmen Cold-Blooded does remove the Pavane Rampage. So you can use Cold-Blooded to save your guys. Turn off unit caps. Grab the Hippogriff Knight unit. Easy win. Here we go. Chad Master of Hoeth. He's not a Chad. He's not a Chad, guys. He hasn't been meta since, I don't think, ever. Is this the finals? Yeah, this is the finals. This here is the finals. If we win, then I still maintain my 200% win rate into Slaanesh. If we lose, well, I guess it was pretty expected anyways. I'm really interested to see what he brings. So there's a few builds he could bring that dumpster me. All right. Absolute dumpstering. But overall, it's not a bad one. This is a full... This is exploiting the fact that he doesn't have Pavane as much as possible, okay? Kind of surprised he's bad considering he has such great spells. It's because he's too expensive and on foot. Expensive and on foot is a death sentence. All right. So you may think me insane for this, but I assure you, we'll be fine. So Slaanesh generally has a hard time versus Kite. So we brought the Kite. Truly an Anticity build. He can't Pavane them. Otherwise, he would get 600 free gold every couple minutes. Okay? But like all my cavalry is just way better now because they're not eating instant death casts. Worst case scenario, he's spamming Melkot's Miasma. Or like the whip spell. Both of which are pretty underwhelming. He went infantry max. He has a Lord of Pit of Shades and Melkot's. This is pretty good. This is what I thought he would bring. Chaos Warriors of Slaanesh, devoted marauders in the back, some Forsaken. Okay. He's brought a Spooky Lord, but no cavalry to speak of. That means my White Lions will cook. He's never gonna flank my White Lions. Slaanesh generally has a hard time dealing with the... They have a hard time dealing with the frontline fight. Their infantry is actually, you know, it's only like A tier at best. So if I bring in these White Lions and they never get flanked, they should be able to cleave through basically all of this. And that's more or less what we're going for here. Just gonna get a little bit of a volley. He gets 1 Melkoth on the skirmisher. That's not a lot of value. 1 Melkoth on a skirmisher is not a big deal at all. He's still triple capped. He's terrified, man. But yeah, you see, if that was Pavane, they'd be dead. If it was Pavane, they would be no more. Thankfully for me, it was not Pavane. Because it's banned. Because it's broken. So he's saving up for his cavalry. Makes sense. Right, it's not like you can really do much about the constant peppering we got going on here. He can't really advance because I have my chariots. And everything's more or less just going to come down to this frontline fight, and if I can make it where my white lions live. He has Hellstriders of Slaanesh. Nothing too spooky that we haven't seen before. A lot of infantry, mind you. He does have a rather ludicrous number of infantry, but he has given me the early triple cap. White lions it up. They're doing great. I'm gonna shoot his Forsaken because they're pretty good. Don't want to have to deal with those guys. Mirrorguard are actually almost as expensive as Chosen, so I'll totally just Melkots them. And you can see I'm basically just playing raw value. A couple Hellstriders come on in. All right, but what's he gonna do? He's gonna go for it. I got infinity cav. I have infinite cav units. I have rangers over here. You can see we've chunked his infantry line fairly well so far. My lion chariot though, I kind of forgot about them. That's my bad. And as Forsaken do get a flank, there's a big pit of shades too. Little bit painful, just a little bit. Gonna need more cav, I think. Interesting, a Hellstrider charge in? Okay. Just a full-on, just a fat Hellstrider charge in. Alright. Oh god, alright, we're backing it up. He's going for the cav. I do have white lions here though. A couple more Hellstriders, okay. Losing that cavalry unit sucks so bad. That's pretty rough. That's a pretty rough one. Hellstriders are here. There's his rampage. Makes sense. His lord has a rampage. But overall, I haven't been too flanked at least. I can start skirmishing his lord, get an eagle on him. We know the eagle's a menace. The eagle's an absolute menace, and his lord is tanking some hits. You know, they can be decently easy to snipe down. So, we just kind of get a couple volleys on him. Mayhaps we get ourselves a kill. Eagle's doing its best. Archers are doing the best. Value-wise, we technically have a lead despite losing my my thingamajig. Eagle's definitely gonna have to get back to safety. But overall, the frontline fight went okay. You know, I have a Malkoth's here. My lions. My lion chariot's back in the action. They're doing fine. And I have double eagle now, okay? I have double eagle. Double eagle has to be good versus lord, right? They gotta be. They must. All right, get them, archers. They're doing fine. Yeah, so we gotta kill some Forsaken here. That's okay. Overall, though, definitely need my infantry to start cooking. Double eagle versus lord is a risky endeavor too, by the way. Can definitely go south very quickly if we're not careful. I do have my infantry doing well, though. His lord's getting scuffed up pretty bad, too. They ain't looking too hot. He has triple capped me, but I still have more tickets than him. So that's not too bad. There you go. There's a Pavane on his cavalry. Should be able to collapse in this this side fight over here. And I really just want to get that Lord Snipe right now. A Lord Snipe would be exquisite. So double eagles coming on in. You can see we're playing super defensively so we don't get flanked. Getting flanked is a death sentence. Double eagle bombardment. Get them, boys. Get them. Eagles are doing the best. I have more rangers. They trade decently well. Eagles are doing great, and they're gonna back up. So they're just keeping his lord modest. All right, his lord's in a doozy, and he's no longer providing leadership to the majority of his guys. So that's definitely a plus. Trading wise, the game still says we're ahead somehow, some way. Don't know how that's possible, but I'll take it. All right, Cav is disengaged. He's almost at the point where he's going to start leading in tickets, but we still have loads of time generally. All right, here we go. The Missile Eagles. The Missile Eagles are back at it. We get a swift charge into the rear. Here we go. Get more infantry. Man, I wish I had better infantry, man. Just a little bit of better infantry would go a long way. Okay. Big commitment here to kill the Rangers. I should be able to kill off his Hellstriders at least. The Eagles are going for the Lord. They're going for the big, you know, the big lightning strike on him. If they can kill off his Lord, we're set. Though I don't really know how well the Eagles do versus the Hellstriders. It's kind of sus. Could be better. Could be better. He's gonna try and cycle charge the Eagles. Can they get a couple hits on his Lord, maybe? It's kind of sus for those poor Eagles. I think that was a misplay on my end. Unfortunately, yeah, they're just getting caught up in Hellstriders. His Lord's definitely low, but that's gonna be brutal indeed. I do get the capture though. Yeah, losing both Eagles? Oh my gosh. Well, his Lord's very low. Maybe I should have gone for some sniping spells instead of thingamajig, but it should be okay. I still have a huge cavalry advantage, and the White Lions are chopping him up. And without his Lord support, it's not as bad as you'd expect. He kind of needs his Lord to hard carry here, right? And these Reaver Archers are fairly good too. He whiffs the Pit of Shades, which is a big play. Huge Pit of Shades whiff. Hellstriders getting hit up. Okay, nice. Oh my gosh. Okay, there we go. Fairly good fights all around. A lot of routing, it turns out. A lot of routing. And I should be able to secure this point. Okay, so it's still you know, he still has a double cap situation. But trading wise, it's okay. Could be better. Could most certainly be worse. But at the very least, I have White Lions on him. Looks like he's trying to go for that capture point. I see. I definitely have a lot of cav here. His Hellstriders can't do too much either. I don't think he's sniping my Lord anytime soon. That's good. And a couple Marauder Horsemen is not the end of the world. If I can just secure the middle before he takes this point, I should be fine. There we go. Okay, you know, fairly good route over there. Then I can charge his Forsaken. He gets his Lord in the action, though. But I should be able to route these Chaos Warriors. Oh, pretty brutal Pit of Shades, though. Pretty brutal Pit of Shades. Forsaken, unfortunately, are rather tanky, too. Man, I wish I had some ammo left, man. I am going to secure this point, though. Okay. There's the nets. I forgot army abilities are a pain in the butt. And, okay. Get the White Lions in. Should be able to charge them. Malakoth's on his Hellstriders to get him killed. No speed for you. His Lord's still very low. They're still incredibly low. So you know he's hurting. If he just runs out of units here, we win. It's just getting them to that point that's going to be the most difficult. But, you know, I'm securing some charges on him. All right, his Forsaken are definitely worse for wear in that far end. Okay, all right. Man, I wish I had some Lord sniping ability, though. I wish I had some sort of Lord snipe. But, yeah, the White Lions are trading okay. They're trading decently. We are seeing some routes on his end. He's going for my Lord, though. Pretty brutal. Come on, get that cast off. Okay, he did get my Lord sniped. It's unfortunate. Ticket-wise, it's getting really close. So if it stays close here, we're just going to slowly fall more and more behind. A solid charge. Man, I should have gone for Arcane Unforging, man. Arcane Unforging on these Slaanesh Lords is actually so good. I think that was my big misplay. Because I totally could have killed him. Dang it. Dang. Oh, they're gonna live. They're gonna live. Oh, the brutality. Maybe I should have resummoned my skirmishers. Brutal. Yeah, I think infantry kite wouldn't have worked because he had so much infantry. Dang. So close. So close. Yeah, that's GG. GG, well played. I should have gone for Arcane Unforging. I should have gone for the Lord Snipe. His Lord would have been so cooked with a little bit of Unforging action. Brutal. I think I put up a good fight though. Considering it's High Elves against Slaanesh, that was a good fight. And yeah, the double eagle, I suicided them in to try and kill his Lord. They got no value. GG. Yeah, the eagle loss and the chariot loss were my big misplays. If I just controlled them better, we could have won it. We could have won it. One eagle was chilling off to the side. It wasn't at low HP though. GG. Wouldn't Sisters be good in that build? You can't go Sisters of Twilight as High Elves. But yeah. I think I misplayed these guys. These guys. That was the big rough. It was well played though. Tussling against Tim the Wilder, Slaanesh. Let's see. I could have tried going for... So like usually I would want to man-tide it, but he picked against High Elves. I guess I could have gone for... So like the single entities didn't work. I think what you straight up do is you take a Lore of Death Archmage and you just Spirit Leech his Lord to death. So Spirit Leech does about 700 damage. If you compare it to a Slaanesh Lord, if you cast 10 Spirit Leeches over the course of the game and you get them killed, it's worth it, right? So you basically just do that. Just spam infinity Spirit Leeches until they eventually die. And then you call it a day. Oh, Sisters of Avalor? Nah. I think any ground infantry dies to a full infantry rush. So like, you know, he was playing really passive. But he'd be fully capable of like just rushing me down, right? He had Mirror Guard and Forsaken and Marauders, right? Like this is really hard to stop from rushing you down. So I did correctly predict that he was going for that. Let's see here. You know, alternatively, I could have just spammed White Lions, but yeah. Yeah, it came down to a couple plays. GG's though. GG's. I think for sure I should add that to, so I have a list of things I'm supposed to remember for each faction. Against Slaanesh, where are they at? Yeah. Remember to Spirit Leech them. If I go for the Lord Snipe, it's easy peasy. I think Melkots isn't worth it on their cheapo cav. So you might as well go for Lord Snipe. Or you go for, like, you know, if you really want to fight, you go for Eltharion. And then you take Arcane Unforging. Both are great options. Complements the kite really well, because you have all the time in the world to kill the Lord, and then you're goodies. Anyways, Theory Crafted done. GG's. It was a pretty fun tournament. Tomorrow, we will be playing Dowie, Vampire Counts, Vampire Coast, Chaos Dwarves, and Nurgle. Spooky indeed. Very, very spooky. But yeah, anyways, I'll see you guys tomorrow, same time as usual. Peace out. Have a wonderful day, and congratulations to Own Goal for winning the tournament. Bye bye.